from VP, and he replaced Relaxi. So even though we're looking at some of these statistics and we're thinking like, oh, maybe it's not great, you have to factor in that that was without Fame being a part of this team, and he is a fantastic talent. I think he was kind of wasted, to be honest, at VP for quite a while, from Jame in particular. I always felt like this guy was capable of being like legitimately a top 10, top 15 rifler on the planet, and so it's great to see him getting another chance here and a chance to reinvent himself.
Yeah, and you know, with I guess maybe a little bit less stress, hopefully, a team that seems to be working quite well together. We're going to find out right now as we get into the action. K27 will start on the CT side, Magic on the T side. So once again, big welcome everyone here. It's elimination on the line. So you've got, you know, 2 or 3 maps, depending on how it goes, to prove yourself here, or you're going to get knocked out of the tournament. And early on, we're going to see Smoke headed up towards, it's sort of what looks like a standard A execute here. It's a great camera angle, appreciate that from the observers, but it's really the connector where the push is going to be happening from, so the opposite of what you might expect from the CT side, although they do seem to be aware of what's coming here, and that's great work. Cedo's picking up early kills, Cashlit with a headshot on Moon, and now they figured it all out. And I think X5 is listening for the footsteps of it, or maybe he's not. He just wasn't paying attention. Tensi was stomping his way around that guy's right-hand side, and he just didn't even turn around. That's pretty confusing, and that could actually lose him the round.
Yeah, that's really brought a lot of opportunities now on the side of Magic with that post plant coming in. Sure, it's unlikely that Tensi clutches. I say that as he rips another head away. Already picked up 2 in this round, and it's not as if he's low either. He has the benefit of the time now working on his favor. All the pressure is on Fame, and he gets put down in this 2v4. But as you say, like, what is X5 doing? If he just stays alive, he can deny the bomb plant, and the round should be done.
Yeah, like either he could have fallen back, or at a minimum, you would have assumed that he would react a little bit quicker to the footsteps. It could be one of those things where, you know, you're on land, it's right at the beginning, there's some other thing going on, maybe somebody's talking right at the same time. Like, it's hard to know exactly what kind of information is going into his ears at that moment, but it just, certainly from our point of view, felt like there was an opportunity there to react in a bigger way. But that's a wild way to get started, because they had such a great read of the situation. The fake on the A-bomb side, the potential push into connector there, that I think even if they get a killer connector, they just keep going for the B-bomb side. I think that was the plan all along for Magic, but yeah, K27 looked like they were ready to shut that one down. They are going to force into this round on the CT side, so definitely scary round here. Scout and even the FAMAS, because they got a fair few kills in that pistol round.
They did. A bit of a silver lining, perhaps. Just shooting that flashbang across to his teammate, and assuming the top middle control at the moment. AW only with a Mac 10 in this spot, though. It's not necessarily ideal having an SMG at that longer range, but he's not going to be tried into just yet. 4-player stack over on the A side, keeping Quinky looking into the window, which has now been smoked off. And although X5 is looking for intel, the timing is slightly against him. Goes for the jump peaks. The T's now moving up close. This could completely catch him off guard, but all that utility is going to give the game away. I think the issue for X5 is he's just about to get swarmed on from so many T's. Nice shot with the dig, but it's not going to stop Magic from planting the bomb.
It's a really smooth deagle shot, I agree. But AW also kind of showing us, I think, the power of the jumping Mac 10 entry is just so hard to deal with. And even if you somehow get it, your crosshair's going to be really far away. Quinky with another one. Hold the phone just a minute here. If you can get this, and he will. Runs down Tensi, and Moon is real far away here. Can he stop the bomb plant? Quinky keeps it going. A quad kill. And they even have time for the defuse, I think. In spite of no kit, they just did the retake so incredibly fast. What a round out of Quinky. That's just mad to get started with.
It's incredible, isn't it? Like, it just goes to show again that K27, a team that I'd imagine quite a lot of people coming into this tournament wouldn't know a great deal about. But the two of us have had the luxury and the pleasure of watching these guys multiple times, and we know it's such a young team as well. I think the average age of this team is like 20, something like that. X5 is one of the older players. Fame now joining as well, of course, is going to bump that up just a tad. But like, just incredible amounts of talent. Quinky kicks it off with that one dig, and you think, right, well, it's a nice effort, guys. You're probably just going to concede the bomb plant and go save and come back for the next round. Well, it was anything but that. I love the aggression to go back in for that, even without the kit, as you highlighted.
Well, I was just about to say that when they were getting smoked off in the market after he'd already got the first headshot, I was going to say, you know what, they could just save the rest of the guns here, and they would be dangerous in the next round. That seemed like a more logical outcome, but sometimes it's worth it to go for it. And I guess especially in an elimination game like this one, you're kind of running out of runway here. So definitely come in and swing with the Deagle. Pretty cool stuff. Third round is here, and unfortunately, Cedo sacrificing himself a bit there. It was Miss Val close. Teammate spotted him. I think Miss Val just took the shot straight for the smoke, and they get the opening kill.
Sure do. Good shot from Asval. He was one of the shining lights yesterday. We talked about repping the Belarus region. He's actually against one of his fellow countrymen in Zido, also from Belarus. As X5 goes in with his MP9, is doing a good job of holding this one down, and Fame with the A4 makes short work of the rest of the T's. Spray's good. Fade will at least get one, and there is a way forward for another plant here. So a bit of a weird, scrappy round across the board from both teams, but it is going to yield the bomb plant bare minimum.
Yeah, I agree. Very scrappy, and Fame making a lot of footsteps, which allows for the communication. And there was AW hearing it, and then it was Fade coming in with the reaction. Oh, good shot from Cashlid. We both said this guy is something that's really is an interesting AWP to watch, in my opinion. And I think he's started to make a little bit of a name for himself. AW, though, he's got the advantage of being hidden behind that pillar back there with the MP9. So any missed shots right now for Cashlid, it's going to be all over. But he does have the kit, so in theory, there's going to be a force here. Yeah, he has to run straight in for it. A no-scope on AW, but he still can't win the round. Still, pretty flashy stuff from Cashlid, which is kind of what I think of him. We talked, I think, yesterday about Afro being more a defensive AWP, but I would say Cashlid is a very, very flashy AWP when it comes down to it. But he won't be able to afford that AWP again for a while here. So Magic, in spite of losing the second round, they bounce straight back.
I think I said this a while back when we were casting them for like a tier 2 tournament, and I said that Cashlid reminds me a lot of Henny. You know, when Henny first burst on the scene, he's like this incredibly like flamboyant, flair-driven AWPer, obviously over in Brazil. And I thought Cashlid has a lot of those same kind of like properties, but he's maybe a little bit more on the consistent side. So I think this guy has an incredibly bright future ahead of him. I actually think he'd be tailor-made for a team like ParaVision if it weren't for the fact that obviously James is IGLing and AWPing over on their team. But he kind of fits the bill, you know, young, incredible talent, Russian. So definitely a player to watch out for. Be curious if K27 can keep him in the inevitable roster mania that happens post-Cologne, but we'll see.
Yeah. That is definitely an open question. They've got a couple of them out there. I still got my eyes on Fine Shine 52, which maybe some people won't know who that is, and you know that's acceptable if you don't recognize the name. But he's another one of these AWPers that sort of, in my opinion, is a bit up and coming. I haven't seen him for a minute, so don't know what his career is looking like for the minute. But I remember a couple of times I saw him play. Might have been some of those CGT games, and I was impressed. So this is going to be a tough one to defend. Nice grenade on top of the boost that was happening there. And now you can see X5 very open. Surprised he lives through that as he runs back into the flashbang. Quinky goes down. AW back with the Mac 10 on that opening kill duty. And they know exactly where he is. He shouldn't get more than one kill. The fact that he almost got the double dare X5 is, I think, kind of potentially a mistake there for Magic. But I think it's fine at the end of it. So 1 versus 3 for Cedo. Even if some of them are low, it's hard to make this comeback.
I'd imagine he's posting up for some exit frags. See if he can maybe upgrade that FAMAS into a Glil or an AK. But, I mean, every step he takes forward is going to play into AW's hands. 27 HP, but he's going to have the drop every day of the week. And so Zedo will find nothing of use, nothing of value, and their economy continues to be in just this really awkward, kind of horrible state of affairs. And keep in mind as well, for those who maybe weren't, you know, catching Magic's trajectory to this point, the first map they played in the tournament was against the MongolZ on Mirage, and really, for all intents and purposes, they should have won it. They had multiple map points. They ended up losing 25-23 in overtime. So it's a map that they've actually taken some of the juggernauts of this tournament to their very limits on. So it shouldn't be too much of a surprise that they've started off well here.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to remind people of. Definitely came in looking very, very interesting. And I mean, even at times when we cast them here on the B stream, I would say they've had moments where they look well drilled. The problem is when they lose the mentality a bit, when they start to fall behind, is when things kind of seem to get off the rails. But the start couldn't have been any better, right? You win the pistol, then you do lose the second round to Quinky and that quad kill, but he hasn't got any kills since. And now you've bounced back. You've shut down the CT side economy. This is probably the best possible position you could be in on the T side early on here. So they are going to be in a very strong spot. And unless they lose the USPs and maybe a Deagle and a 5-7, they're gonna be quite far ahead going into the early stages of this map. So yeah, we love this. I really can't explain that. Does he have like that bat hearing? Is he just listening for the echoes and getting it? Oh my god, he dies. Please, Vince, please save me from this.
I don't think I can. I think we just have to fully embrace it at this point. You know, just jump straight into the black hole of Counter-Strike. It was a jumping USP shot as well, by the way, through the smoke from Quinky. So he goes to show that he's not just a Deagle demon, but he can get it done with other weapons too. Magic 30 seconds left on the clock, heavily outnumbered. And although the weaponry on K27 is pretty garbage, because the time is so low, there's really no room for error here. I mean, there's going to be angles you're not going to go ahead and check. They're doing a decent job, though, of thinning out the herd at this stage. 15 seconds now left on the clock. 10Z low. Masval also low. A lot of this is going to come down to this rotation that's coming through on the market right now, which is Moon, and he needs to start laying down some frags. Finally gets it done, and it will be Magic just about surviving by the slimmest of margins. Just seconds left on the clock.
Oh, what an absurd round. Even if you win that, you've got to walk away with the feeling that that is not meant to happen. I wanna believe that Quinky has he's been practicing Counter-Strike with his eyes closed, just honing that echolocation somehow, just able to play without seeing anybody. That's pretty cool. You could argue that K27 maybe shouldn't have been so aggressive at the B bomb side once the time was low like that, but it's always hard to know when to, like, if you take that fight and you're hoping that they're already like jumping in the air or they're like flying off out of the window or something. Like, it's hard to find those timings. So regardless, very close round, but Magic wins it, and K27, they are back, but not with the AWP on cash lead, which is a result of losing some of these early rounds and the economy being so disjointed on the CT side. Magic coming to this one with a slow approach, and that's another painful thing here for K27. A slow round, they don't have a lot of utility already. There's no kit in play, so slowing it down like this is going to waste even more utility. Could be another really tough defense here for the CT side.
Yeah, that is a very real concern. Magic have, I wouldn't even say they've been playing super slowly. It's just that K27 have maybe been a bit overzealous. I mean, it's a team that hasn't got a ton of experience themselves online, especially not at this kind of caliber of event, so maybe kind of like wearing on them just a tad. Molotov up and over. Fame, I should say, is not going to be affected by that one. He at least knows where one of these T's are. Spray a little bit off, but intel has been gathered. Fade put down from Zido. And for one of the first times, K27 actually in a pretty dominant position. But they cannot afford to let this bomb site fall. As you highlight, no kits and a lack of grenades could be a real problem.
Wait, there's going to be a flank coming in. Moon actually gets the kill, but AW is going to get it either way, so kind of almost robbed a bit there. Quinky goes down. There's 3 people on the bomb site. This round you should never give up. AW hits a headshot. I'm starting to get worried already. Moon with the jump over. Takes down Fame, and with 10 seconds on the clock here, all you need is the kill. No, it's AW holding the line, and the bomb is going to be planted. How have they given this one up? Moon with the shot to drop Cedo, and an absolute collapse of the B defense from K27. That is an unforgivable lapse. They had everybody there. There was no time for Magic. They should have never lost this round.
I mean, you've nailed it. It's unforgivable. It really is. Like, you're looking at a 4v3, 17 seconds left on the clock. Every one of these CTs has M4s or a rifle. I mean, I can't fathom how you've lost this round. Yes, it's some great shots from Moon. Take nothing away from Magic, but K27 have just shot themselves in the foot with a double-barreled shotgun there. And it's so grim as well, because their economy, they were finally starting to pick themselves back up off the floor, and they've just thrown themselves back into oncoming traffic, and I just can't understand it. Okay, that's a nice way to begin. Cashlet will pick off Spade, but I mean, ultimately, that's just such a head-scratching round. Okay, Tenzi's going down next. Now they've picked up 2 AKs. And they're going to keep on going. Over at the middle part of the map, we've got the bomb. Still at top mid, in fact. So AW wants to see if he could find a way to even out the scoreline just a little bit here. Or the kill count. But again, this is where you want to see K27 kind of fall further back. It's another dink this time. AW down to 5 health. Again, this one should be in the back. But now I'm starting to get nervous. Now, I don't want to say that anymore, because we've had multiple rounds now where K27 have had this kind of a position, and they end up giving it away. So, in theory, this is a round that you win almost every time. In theory, absolutely. In practice, it's not worked out that way so far. And so we'll see if Magic even go for this, because, I mean, realistically, their money's not great. A couple of scrappy rounds in a row. Holding on to this AWP and a couple of potential rifles really wouldn't be too bad, all things considered. I think Moon has just tossed his AWP away, though. He's now rocking with the 5.7 instead. No, he's got it again. I thought maybe he'd thrown that away just to save it, but that's not going to be the case. You're looking to push him with 15 seconds. It's hard to see how you get anything done, but Zido not even getting a kill from that position. Surely not again.
Ashley, I think, has got it on lockdown here. That kill will seal the deal. The bomb's on the ground. There's no time left. But I'm sharing the nervousness there that I could hear in your voice. As soon as Tito goes down, you think, oh, man, all it takes is one mistake here, and at a minimum, the bomb is going to be planted. Timeout called here as you see K27 finally picking up the second round, and it's just a very confusing start across the board here. Magic shouldn't be losing these individual fights to the 5-7. There are ways to deal with that. You can flash away around the corner. You could have a double setup there so you can at least trade the kills like that. Magic are definitely also making mistakes to get into these losable positions. And as a result of the economy, right, it's not like they have a ton of money either. So just a very scrappy game. But it's been, you can't say it's not been entertaining. I guess that's the upside, you know. It's been fun to watch.
That's true. That is very true. I mean, sometimes you have like really clinical, what you consider to be, you know, dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's Counter-Strike. Something that VP, you know, under James had at certain moments, especially on maps like Inferno, doesn't always make for a great watch. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes it's a little bit dull. And then sometimes on the flip side, you have two teams that are incredibly scrappy, but constantly at any given moment, you have no idea what the hell's going to happen. It's super unpredictable, and that makes for a lot of fun. So I think we've had very much that so far in this the opening 7-8 rounds. But then one AK for AW has been spotted in the apps. It's hard to see how he's going to get anything done, and yeah, X5 just drills him in the side of the head. So that feels like probably the chance, if any, that Magic had has gone with him.
You think that should be the case once again here. Trying to stay real slow in this round on the C side. That one AK, X5, yeah, it takes a little bit of a risk in doing that, but I appreciate it. Why give it back over to the C side so they can continue the fight? And unfortunately, they just won't have enough on anybody else. So best you can probably do in a round like this one, if you're on the Magic side, is waste some of the nades. Be slow enough that K27 keep throwing in the smokes and the incendiaries. And that's probably the best case scenario, unfortunately. So kind of finally more of a boring round, I guess. Maybe that's even a good thing.
Yeah, settles down the pace a little bit, allows both teams to bed themselves in. At the end of the day, this is an elimination match, a 0-2 game. You lose this, you're done. So it's understandable if there is a little bit of tension. It's a couple of teams other than maybe Fame, you'd say, that don't have really much experience at this level of Counter-Strike whatsoever. So you can definitely forgive them a few hiccups here and there. Quinky, meanwhile, though, is going to put down Svade. And with 15 seconds left, Masfal is going to get a kill, so it's not too bad, all things considered. He's going to weaken the economy just a little bit and dies before time. So that's kind of the best case scenario for him. Ticks his economy forward. They can buy again into the next round and did weaken the economy just a tad on the CT side. But 3-5, and it seems like K27 starting to recover a little bit. But, I mean, you could also throw, like, to play devil's advocate here, Anders, this could easily be like a 6-2 scoreline for K27 if they finished off their opportunities early on in the half.
Yes, and it's hard to know how that impacts the team, because that could be a source of great frustration. It could also be a source of motivation to say, you know, yeah, like, it's not the best start, but all it took was like a little bit, like, we're super competitive, just stop making a couple of mistakes and we're going to bounce back and take over this whole game. So depending on the sort of combined mentality of the team, that kind of experience can either be like the thing that'll keep the engine going, or it could absolutely be the thing that crushes them. And I think we've seen from Magic already, they're the kind of, they seem like, at least, I don't want to label them too hard, but they seem like the kind of team that get more frustrated than inspired by these kind of moments. K27, I mean, they're still fighting pretty hard, and individually everyone is here. Like, they're getting the kills on the CT side. In fact, if you look at the scoreboard, you might even think that K27 should be leading, with the lowest fragger being 5 kills on Cedo. Fame very nearly dies. That's so dangerous, but he gets to throw down the smoke that he wanted and kind of back on out, and actually that's enough to push Magic even further back. Very interesting.
Yeah, these last few rounds have definitely been a slower pace. The next 5 going to try and make the most of that one. Gets flashed in. That does kind of give the play away just a tad, though. I mean, typically, if you're going to be throwing utility into apps, it's going to be Molotov, a HE, maybe a smoke. Flash, that really does kind of telegraph what the idea is behind it. It does nothing at that kind of depth. Meanwhile, Magic now going to be switching up the pace, trying to get through on short.
It's a wild spray from X5. That's such a long time, but Quinky's shown up. They've been slowed down by the Molotov that was in the apartments as well. Oh, wait a minute. AW with what looked like practically a running headshot coming in from that short position. 3 versus 3 now with 18 seconds on the clock. Again, it's low here, but Tenzi and AW will secure the round with a couple of kills. Cashlade, you can't afford to let go of this AWP. Again, a round where K27, they've got 2 people at the bomb site. There's very little time left. Backup is showing up, and they just can't stay alive for long enough to you know, like, I think if they leave 3 more seconds in that bomb site, then the backup's going to be there, and there's nothing Magic can do to probably win the round. But you've got to give Magic credit, I suppose. The fact that they're leaving the timing so low, and they still continuously find the bomb sites and find the right openings. I would say it's a scary way to play Counter-Strike, but if it's working, I'm not going to criticize it. They're up to 6 rounds.
Yeah, it doesn't fill you with a massive amount of confidence, because I think K27 have been their own worst enemies in quite a few of these rounds, and quite a few of how the executions and their protocols have been coming down. Against the better team, I think Magic just get punished really hard here, but listen, at the end of the day, it is all about survival today. It doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be clean, you just got to keep your tournament going forward another day. Take each day at a time. And so far, they're doing a pretty good job. 6 rounds on T side already. And again, it's a bit of a rough buy, MP9 for MAS, and not much money in the back burner for K27. So if they were to lose this, I mean, you could easily see 8 or 9 rounds coming up for Magic, and that feels like it could be an insurmountable task on K27.
Yeah. This is where it's kind of crunch time for them. Oh, so flashed, but Spade had just the outline of Fame, but it might not matter at all here. Quinky's shown up, double kill on the MP9, and very nearly a triple there, kind of outlining the head of AW trying to get through. Cedo now with the FAMAS to the back, and AW so low that the pistol's probably better than the AWP at this point. Or the M4 on X5 will get the job done here. I don't think with 8 health you're going to be able to get this one. Very clean headshots required. He's in an interesting position. I don't think they quite realize that he's walked through. So you might actually have the element of surprise for the first kill, especially if they were to move forward, but they're not doing that. Okay, now there's at least a thought in the head of Cashley there thinking, you know what? He could be there, and he's exactly right. So nicely done. Double kill for Quinky on that MP9, shut it down, and unfortunately for K27, I suppose, they don't live with too many people, so they can't save the AKs or anything else like that, but they get the round.
They do, yep. Another one of those rounds that looked like it was going to be fairly straightforward. They got the opening 3 kills, and then there was an attempt at a comeback into that one. Magic's economy now, though, is the one that's struggling because there's been so many back and forth, like 2v2, 3v3s. So they're scraping together with 2 Tech 9s. If K27 could bring this into like a 6-6 scoreline, I think they'll be delighted with that outcome, all things considered. But that's a big if. They still need to traverse through quite a few obstacles before we get to that mark. Molotov does just start to dissipate. And with Tenzi in there with his Tech 9, he started so incredibly powerfully, but he has dropped off just a tad. Impressively, it's AW that's top of the charts. A guy that's had, I think you were talking about this the other day, and it's like yesterday, he's had his problems, you know, individually speaking. Yeah. So it's good to see him fragging out.
Well, especially because he's been doing a lot of the entering on some of these rounds. So that's insanely hard to do if you're going to be also top fragging in the server. Yeah, cool to see. More of that. I feel like I've seen good games from AW in the past, and I've seen games where he really disappears, and that's always confusing, or it's always hard to deal with, I think, as a team. But if he's going to have the game right now when elimination's on the line, then we're not going to be critical of that at all. Smokes are coming in now towards that jungle and top connector position. They do have some utility in the back. It's a good find there. Oh, but it's going to be the A ramp where the fight's really going to be happening. Cedo takes down Masval at the beginning. Fame will follow up, and that's a great double.
Yeah, really well done from Fame. I think he brings so much to this team. Moon and Spade completely isolated from one another and just slow walking into the crosshair of Cashlid, who's not going to miss those. And now Moon, the other AWPer on the server, had an amazing amount of impact over on B early on. Now he's going to try and get something done with his Tech 9. And considering that this was a full investment into the round, if he could somehow squeak a bomb plant, it would be huge. But this pretty much is mission impossible. And he agrees. He was trying to take one of those rifles out. Quinky will reject that premise. And so K27 going into the last round of the half, looking good for a 6-6. And that would be, for me, that's a bit of an escape, considering what it could have been. Like at one stage, they were down 5-1.
Yes, and you know, again, like it's hard to figure out. I feel like this could have been an 8-4 half in favor of K27 at this stage. Like they could have had such a huge lead going into it. But I suppose, given all the trials and tribulations that they've been through so far, maybe you will be okay saying, okay, we're going to tie up the game, we'll make it a 6-6, and then if we win the pistol on the second half, it's all just fine. There are Tech 9s out on the field, so you have to be careful. And again, both teams have managed to throw away rounds that they shouldn't have. So we're not going to take anything for granted here. We are congregating towards the middle of the map. Quinky is starting to make a little bit of an attempt at it here. They blow open the smoke and they try to run straight through into Fame and Cedo waiting on the other side. So a mean crossfire that's been set up. Now Quinky's coming through on the other side. He'll land another headshot, make it a quick double. He's up to 12 kills now. And that attempt just falls very flat. They didn't get any of the battles they wanted. Quinky with the final headshot. It's very good work here. It's a triple for him and it will tie the game at 6-6. I would say big opportunities in this one for K27 to get more, but they still seem like they're in pretty good spirits.
Yeah, I think that you're focusing on how things ended rather than how they started there. If they were focusing on the beginning, I think some tilt would definitely be creeping in. And speaking of tilt, I think, you know, Magic have definitely been guilty of that multiple times in the tournament from what we've even seen ourselves. And it has been a bit of a recurring theme. Like in both of their matches, they had a very close first map against MongolZ again. They went into OT against Monte. It was a 13-11 loss that they should have won as well. I think that was on Ancient. And then the second map, they completely collapsed. They totally capitulated. And you could see there was tilt. You could see the players were unhappy. They're hitting the desk. They're sighing. They're looking completely like absent-minded while they're going through the game. So I do hope that the fact that they had such a good half and it ends up being just kind of mediocre is not weighing on their minds. And they realize, okay, let's just go. We got 6 rounds. That's a good T-half. Let's make sure we pick up the pace here on the second side, because I think they are susceptible to pressing the self-destruct button for sure.
That's been our worry, hasn't it, so far in the tournament? That's something that we've raised the question a couple of times, and I feel like it's for good reason. When they play well, it's definitely impressive, and with AW getting that many entries on the first half as well, you got to say that's a great template or a great foundation to build on. But let's see what happens. We're in the second half, ladies and gentlemen, and shout out to you guys for hanging out with us in the chat. We appreciate it. There's an A stream as well, if you guys don't know. Keep both the tabs open at the same time. Quinky will start us off. First kill of the second half. He's really come alive. It's great to see. And it's a 4 versus 5 to begin with. The bomb is coming out of Palace.
Oh, and they picked up the pace as well and claimed the head of Spade. A huge opener, but Tenzi's going to make sure that they don't overrun the site just yet. They're not able to ransack it. Meanwhile, Kashlid is making moves through on B. The bomb is now escaping outside Palace. They're going to the B site. It's going to take a while before this bomb's planted, but they are going to have B completely under wraps.
I love everything about this. It's going to be such a... this is the benefit, I think, of having so much time in the round, is that you can actually do this. Oh, wait. They bring it back again. They've changed their mind for a second time. And now the question is, Ashley's going to find Mesval. Oh, if I'm on the Magic side right now, I am confused beyond belief. What are they doing? Why are they not committing to anything? The bomb is going to be planted, but even then, you might actually still not know if it's A or B. Might take you a second to figure out. There we go. AW's confirmed it. He knows walking into the Glock of X5, though, is not the way to do it. But I don't even blame Magic for being confused in this round. I don't know how you would calm your way out of this one.
Yeah, there was a couple of really cool moments there from X5. I'll just see what Tenzi can do from this, because he is such a good player. I don't want to assume anything on this. He could pick it up. We've seen multiple times K27 have let these rounds slip, but not this time. Zido nails him. So X5 made the most of his position and got into sandwich, and he actually heard 3 players rotating through connector and window. And as soon as he heard them, they rotated the bomb back through T-spawn. So they were playing purely off intel from X5 towards positioning, and then because of Kashlid already being in the marketplace, he gets the free pick, and everything just falls nicely into place. But yeah, I'm sure Magic's head was spinning with all the rotations and having no idea what the hell was going on. Which
is understandable. I mean, there are sometimes there are easy rounds to come right on the CT side. We're like, hey, we got these flashbangs, these smokes. We got a pattern. I can name the pattern. I can say, oh, they're doing a heavy connector split or something. But in a round like that one, you probably don't have words for what's going on. All you can say is they could be anywhere on the map reading, and that's never ideal. There is a force up, and there was a big stack towards the middle, leaning A side of the map, and that's the wrong spot. It turns out this was a bit of a split coming in from shorts as well. X5 will go down, and Fade, I want to see more out of him. Somehow he's only got 4 kills so far on the map, and normally he's more reliable than that. We'll pick up the MP7 and get the kill on the cash lid, so it's a 3 versus 4, but the bomb is planted, and there's not going to be a kit in this round, so even if they have the man lead here, this is a very tough retake.
The only good news is that the bomb has only really just been planted, but it's already towards half of its fuse. And someone needs to take point. Someone needs to go in first here. It's a great shot from AW, and that's going to open the floodgates. Quinky, last man standing, but he's on 30 HP, and they will successfully retake. It was looking dicey, but that shot on window was huge to cracking this back open. And Magic bounced back with an authority, taking multiple rifles from the T's in the process.
That's just so wild, but I don't know why I keep sounding surprised, but it's because, you know, you watch enough Counter-Strike, you can guess the outcome of a lot of these rounds just based on, you know, the no kit. Even if you're a man up, they're inside of the B bomb site waiting. All they have to do, you can even hear it on the defuse at the end. If they just live like a second and a half each more, that's it. There's no time for a defuse. Like a combine, like, you know, that's like 4.5 seconds more combined with 3 people alive, and that's it. They just can't defuse the bomb any longer. So the fact that they die so quickly means they end up losing the round anyway. Oh, that is confusing. Here we go, though. It's been an entertaining game, I've got to say. Round number 15, and Magic bounced back. Moon with a double spray down through the smoke. They can't even make it out. Oh, no. A 3rd kill. That smoke just ended them.
Yeah, you were speaking before about, like, Quinky maybe playing blind. I mean, they essentially were in this round. They couldn't see anything, and they lose 3 players just through smokes. Zido shut down in the back, trying their best Daredevil cosplay, but it turns out, more often than not, you're just going to get squashed by Kingpin in the end. And Magic, they're about to take the 8-7, and they're doing it flawlessly. This is so good for their economy, man.
Yep. That's the dream. Again, for a shaky kind of first half where both teams were looking maybe not fully like themselves. For Magic to come back in here and pick it up so soon, losing the pistol, but then winning right afterwards. It's great work. AW up to 16 kills. By the way, I don't know if this is true for you as well, Vince. And he's playing so well right now, but I'm fighting for my life every time I see Quinky play because I keep wanting to turn him into some sort of Teletubby. Like, it's like Quinky Winky is right there for this, like right there. Like, it's the rare crossover. We don't really have like crossover branding in Counter-Strike, but if ever there was one, like the Counter-Strike Teletubbies thing would go hard, you know?
There's going to be a day in the future where he's casting at a major and you're casting him, and you're going to workshop some kind of Teletubbies reference. I can feel it already. It's going to happen. You heard it here first.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to go with it. I've already got the material ready. Oh, Spade, he will end up getting outdone. But you know what? Getting just the 1 kill in that moment still makes a pretty big difference. Sometimes that's all you can do, and it's a lot better than dying straight up. But yeah, there's a lot like, you know, oh, he's got flashed as if he was looking straight into the baby sun. There's stuff like that. You know, we can make it work. I still don't understand why the sun was a baby to begin with, but it's very confusing. There's a ton of very deep conspiracy theories around how Teletubbies is all, you know, like it's all supposed to be like Marxist or like Masonic propaganda and stuff like that. Like if you go to the deep parts of YouTube, there are people who think it's all programming to, you know, to mess up the kids. But
Mate,
not me. I'm saying like that, you know.
I feel so lucky now that I never watched it when I was a kid. I was more of a Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers type kid, you know.
Did you guys have
good stuff?
Do you guys have biker mice from MOUZ?
I don't think so. I don't recognize that.
That show went so hard. Anyway, you can probably tell Vince and I from a different generation, perhaps. But nonetheless, we don't have to talk about it. I had to get it out because it's in my head all the time. He's been playing so well right now. So, yeah, you got to give him a lot of credit. They need more like that, though. And, you know, I still think Cashlid, he's been playing well. He hasn't dominated the server with the AWP. And that's one of the things I really want to see, because I do love watching him play. So maybe get that out on the T side and start to crack open a couple of bomb sites when they have the money for it. It's a 2-round difference. But Magic have come off to a nice start, right? They've won 3 out of 4 rounds so far on the T side. And they've got a better economy as well. Looks like it's going to be Palace once again. They're trying to get out. Another smoke was just recommitted. So do they wait or do they just go for it is the question. Now they've lost like 5 and lower. Yeah, they have to go. They run straight through the smoke and Palace. They couldn't wait any longer. Nice flick from Moon. Oh my God, Cashlid gets blown up as well. And Moon is fully arrived here. That is some stunning shutdowns to get out of the Palace. And now Quinky and Cedo, 2 versus 4.
This is exactly the kind of Moon that we wanted to see yesterday, man, on Dust 2. Like, if he showed up on Dust 2 yesterday, they wouldn't be in this match in the first place. But here we go. Quinky has been boosted up onto the staircase. Could get the drop, but Moon is watching. I think did leg Quinky. He's down to 36. Feeling the effects. 40 seconds left. He's going to go after that wide swing. Tenzi takes his teammate. And Moon will seal up his 3K for the round. And Magic just building in confidence. Building ahead of steam. K27 have never really felt like they got a stranglehold in this game, economically speaking. And I think it factors back to something you were highlighting just before with Cashlid not really getting much to say with the AWP. I think he only had the AWP for like 2 or 3 rounds in the entire game so far, because their money has always just been in such a treacherous position.
What a wild round from Moon there. He set up the flash in the underpass to get the opening kill, and then he just, you know, spun around and got every kill from there on out, pretty much. Very impressive stuff. But yeah, you're right. I think Cashlid, unfortunately, just ironically, without the cash to pick up any kind of, you know, his favorite weapon here. That's a bit of an issue. 2 AKs on the CT side, and the money is absurd. They've got tons of cash. Tenzi, you can see on 9,000. So they're gonna be filthy rich for a lot of this half. Tech9's on the other side. X5 could get jumped on again. He's jiggle peeking that kind of slowly, and the timing doesn't work out for him at all. Fade will take him down, and I was criticizing him earlier. I said he had 4 kills a couple of rounds ago. Now he's up to 10. It's looking a lot better. Masval taking down Quinky, and any dreams of even getting a bomb plant here are they're pretty much gone. There's so many people at this bomb site right now that you can't get through.
Yep. On the other side, though, you have pistols, you have a bike coming next round. You've got to try something. Sitting back at this kind of range with pistols, I think they're playing purely off the basis of the Tech9 for Fame and Connector. Now that's gone down. Zedo, there's no reason to play shy or coy. Just get out there, get yourself killed quick so that K27 can get their rifle round up. Because realistically, as you said, objective-wise, I mean, the opportunities were absolutely zero. But now AK's come in. Again, Cashlid, he's got 58, so he can go for the AWP. I'll be curious to see if he goes for it or not here. It's not necessarily completely necessary, but he has gone for it. Okay, good. Let's see what he's got up his sleeve.
Scary pickup, I was going to say, if he couldn't afford the armor, but he just is able to. I feel like playing glass cannon AWP on the T side can just be could be a bit of a struggle. I suppose it can on the CT side too, but regardless, he will have the armor. Just no head armor, so that is could be a factor. It's worth pointing out. There are 2 M4s on the map, so yeah, right. Watch out for that if it comes up.
I think the reason why is because he knows that they have multiple AKs, so it's less of a risk. But as you say, like Tenzi,
true, yeah,
and Masval both have an A4, so we'll see. I mean, that could be a huge difference, you know. Like, we'll see. For those of you that maybe aren't as knowledgeable about Counter-Strike, the head armor would allow you 2 bullets from an M4 A4, but without the head armor, you are an insta-kill to the head, whereas the AK is an insta-kill to the head regardless. So these are like little bits and pieces the players have to think about as they go into the game. Looks like an A executes on the horizon, though.
See if they can defend this one Magic. They're so close to taking up this early map. And remember, this is elimination. So we're laughing our way through some of this game, but it's real serious for the players. Never forget that. So much of their careers could be on this. It's a tier 1 tournament that they're getting a chance to play in. And look at the defense. Look at the smoke again. Tenzi and Spade start off with a couple of kills. Both of them dying pretty much on top of each other. And that's kind of dreadful. What's the point of throwing the smokes if you can't get on there and get the bomb planted? Magic had even fallen back. You actually had a free runway to at least get a bomb plant, which I think is only half the job, really, when you're at the A bomb site. Like, you're only halfway through the round when you get the bomb planted here. But they couldn't even do that. They're trying once again, but I think it has a lost cause. Another kill. A third one through the smokes. Fade this time, and Cedo, yeah, they're not going to respect it. Push him. Just go for it here. You know you're going to be able to do it. Misval takes him down at the end. Wall bang through the box. It's 12 rounds for Magic as they're very close to winning this opening map here. And yeah, for K27, I was impressed at the beginning because they lost some very winnable rounds, and they didn't look like they were collapsing as a team. But I feel like now you're starting to see it's a little bit more desperate. It looks a little bit more sloppy. Maybe the energy has kind of left the room a little bit for them.
Yeah, they do just feel flat at this point, and it's 12 rounds to Magic. It's only 1 round on this T side to K27, and it was the pistol round. And since then, out of 6 rounds on the CT side, they've only been required to defuse once. The last 5 rounds haven't even yielded a bomb plant. That's how dominant and one-sided this has been. They're going to run it back onto the A side, but Masval does get flashed and does get checked. So Zido, he's opened up business onto the side. They still need to deal with Tenzi, though. Good Molotovs, going to force him out into the open. The best chance they've had so far.
Yeah, just don't give this one up, surely. AW, that's a mad jump! He's running straight to the smoke and somehow finds a double kill. Oh, he's a man possessed right now. That should never work. They're not going to win the round, I think, still. Moon and Fade, they're just, you know, they're a little bit too far away. They will give it a shot based off that AW double kill. If they win it, it's going to be because of that. But what an outrageous move. Let's see if anyone's going to make a mistake and peek here. Moon trying to get the first spray. Does realize where the second player is, but he can't find the follow-up. Quinky will take him down, and now it's Fade trying to pick up potentially another rifle if he can. I think the AWP is a rough weapon to retake with here, and he's running out of time regardless. There is a kit in front of him, but I just don't think you can do it any longer. Still trying to make it expensive. Cedo takes him down. Nice triple for him in this one, and K27, they're now fighting for overtime, but I swear AW almost wrecked them there. Just a quick check-in with the chat as well, Vince. We did have someone asking, how do you pronounce? There was Francisco is asking, how do you pronounce the X5 G7 whatever name is? The fact is you don't, but as people are pointing out, we just call him X5. We don't know what's the real answer. We haven't checked. We've tried to check, but we never found out.
Yeah, I think everyone just agrees to have a mutual handshake on just X5, just for simplicity reasons. Oh, nice shot from Zido, though. Can K27 have that second win, that surge that we see so often in the Tier 2 bracket? He's about to get wide swung on with the A4, and Tenzi finally finishes off the kill onto Zido. Meanwhile, though, there's a bit of a backstab in the smoke, and X5 catches Spade completely unaware.
The madness has returned to this game. It's been such a wild game in general with mistakes on all sides, which sometimes can just make it very entertaining. Bomb has been planted. This time people are not getting shot through the smoke, and it's been blown open there. Masval was hoping he was going to be the one that was going to be able to capitalize on that smoke being blown open, but instead it goes the other way. So they'll have to back on out. Nothing they could do this time, unfortunately. So up to 9. And I said they had a lot of money, and that's still true on the Magic side. Like, look at the fact that they've lost. It's going to be a second round here, and still everyone is 6,000 or above on the in terms of the cash. So they can still buy quite a bit here, Magic, but eventually they will run out if this keeps going.
Yep, exactly. Hence the save. They'll be able to get away with it by the looks of things as well. I don't think that K27 in a position to deny Moon or Tenzi of their weaponry. But yes, you are absolutely on point. They can't keep this going for too much longer. Meanwhile, though, K27, they're making a real case for themselves to get back into an OT kind of scoreline. And this would mirror the match that Magic had with the Mongols. They had a pretty significant lead. They threw away a couple of match points. They went into OT. They ended up losing in like quadruple overtime. So at some point, they're going to be thinking, oh God, not again.
This is... Actually, sometimes I think this kind of Counter-Strike can be really funny. Like, there's no question there's tons of stuff to criticize. If we had an analyst desk ready on the B stream, then, you know, there'd be lots of things to go through, lots of rounds. We talked about a ton of them already, but in terms of just watching it as an entertainment thing, there's nothing lacking here. I think this is the kind of stuff that you can never know what's going to happen, and that is kind of interesting. X5 jiggling again at the corner. He's done this a couple of times, and I think he's been punished a couple of times for it. But this time he's quick to fall back. They are so aggressive in the middle here, Magic, which they could do for a while, but eventually they'll have to leave this 4-man setup at mid and kind of go back to defending the bomb sites a bit. Moon, he's playing on the lip of this truck. You can just sort of stand on the rear end bumper, I think it is, and it can be a very, very hard position to clear out, actually, on coming in from the T side.
I think the issue is that K27 were aggressive, but they were kind of statically aggressive at the end. They were holding positions that were pretty obvious. Flick not quite there for Moon. They're going to close the gap now, knowing that he could be vulnerable, susceptible to a straight-up push. X5, not for the first time, is going to find the perfect timing, but it's going to be Moon in the Molotov, and then he lands the no-scope onto Cashlid. That's an outrageous shot, and it could be enough to seal Magic the map.
Oh, I think it just might be. I think you're onto something here. What a way to do it as well. No scoped, and there's no time here. 20 seconds. Fame, he's stomping all over the place. He might as well. Okay, he's found AW, but that's only a third of the problem. 10 seconds, shot in the back by Tenzi and Magic. They finally put an end to the madness here. They pick up the map in what has to be one of the most confusing maps we've seen in a while here in Astana, but well done for them. It is elimination on the line, so you better believe they're going to be excited about this one and hope.
Gentlemates, so
Yeah,
I guess
maybe.
like if you look at the very close, past, they've actually got 100% win rate on it, and they've beat a very good team in Gentlemates who have been very impressive to me. I actually had pretty high hopes for them coming into this event. We haven't had a chance to cast them ourselves, but I've been very impressed with them as of late. Obviously, they got Martinez. I know he's a player that you're very much familiar and a big fan of, who was previously at 9Z, who are now doing great things. But into the here and now, Anders, we have ourselves Overpass kicking off. K27 on the T side, and all 5 of them pushing towards Playground.
Yeah, I don't hate this. It's always interesting because Overpass is such a big map that when you do this kind of a grouped up thing, you don't know if the CTs are pushing, and you know what? They kind of are. AW is in the sewer tunnel looking in. So you could end up losing a lot of map control without knowing it. I like the fact that they're speeding this up because I think, again, you have no idea if the CT's already figured it out, and they've got 3 people stacked here. I think they're going to have a really good read. You don't have much choice. You have to go for it. They do have a Molotov and some smokes as well on the T side, so it'll be sort of an execute, but a counter smoke is coming out. They're bumping into each other. Madness in the smoke. Moon, is he going to be able to find anything? He's joined the T side somehow, but now he's dead instead. Tenzi with 3 kills. Oh, and a headshot straight through. How has he done that?
That's so sick, man. And the thing is, you might think to yourself, well, don't they realize they're bumping into a player? It's because they're all running through a smoke together. As far as they're aware, one of their teammates is like, kind of dribbled and stopped pushing forward. There's no way of knowing that in the heat of the moment. You're listening to the call of where the potential players on the CT side are, and they just run headfirst into Tenzi, and he does exactly what he did over on Mirage, and that is lay them out. Just unbelievable again. That 4K is so beautiful. And if we're talking as well about like Magic being kind of a momentum-based team that sometimes get in their own heads, what a phenomenal way to kick things off. The vibes are looking real good.
Yeah, amazing stoppage. That counter smoke that goes out, even if it doesn't directly kill anyone on the T side, it just makes it so confusing. Like a lot of their own utility is now not necessarily nullifying, but it's a lot less effective. Hunting down Tenzi there is going to be Cedo, who dies. Twinkie trying to plant the bomb, and he actually will be successful. So another very fast round here for K27, making their way onto the A-bomb site. There is a flank coming in from Cashlid, and he does have an upgraded pistol. It's winnable here, and he's got the Molotov. If he somehow stays alive, he can try and interrupt any kind of a defuse. They don't have any more smokes left either. So that Molotov is actually worth quite a bit. Cashlit here. Oh, the timing is so good. X5 on the other side. And they're in so much trouble here. Magic, I don't think, as long as he has the Molotov, actually 2 of them, they should not be able to defuse this one. But Mesval's trying to get a bit closer. Oh, he's just going to jiggle it out there. And Mesval's solo already. No Molotovs are needed. Cashlit gets in. K27. They get some justified revenge for all of the rounds that they lost similarly on Mirage. This time it's their turn to take one back.
I would fully understand if Tenzi is mega tilted right now with his teammates because he needed help so badly from Masval. He was kind of on the right side of the smoke behind the truck. He's got the MP7. He needs to be going in there. He needs to be getting aggressive because Tenzi, he actually was about to face the guy from Bathroom. And as you can see, Quinky shuts him down in the back with a Tech 9. He'll be like, guys, like, where's the help here? I can't watch 360 degrees by myself. So a bit of a lapse in communication or judgment, perhaps, from Masval, and it's cost them dearly. They go back in with a force buy of their own, as you'd expect, but it's only going to be one M4 and one MP9. So Spade, who had a slow start on Mirage, is out there first, but he is basically bait for Tenzi to just capitalize with his M4.
That is really, really good work. 2 people down on the K27 side. He's been playing so well in some of the games that we've seen so far from Magic. If he can keep it up like this, and if they can have AW performing once again, then could be that they could steal away even their opponent's map pick here. 3 people left, and once again, they're all out long like this. If it keeps turning out this way, and Magic kind of figure out how much they're leaning to the side of the map early on, again, there are legitimate strategies on the CT side where you end up pushing out through the monster tunnel, and if you find no Ts there, you have such an interesting position already. So, third round is looking still a bit shaky here for the T side, even if they have the weapons for it. AW close listening in with the MP9. It's Moon with the headshot, so now X5 is gone, and it's fallen apart here. AW gets a spray down, 25 seconds, and Molotov on top. Okay, it's thrown from that position. I was worried for a second, but yeah, 1 versus 3. He's kind of locked in.
The plant, though, at the very least. There's going to be no opportunities for him afterwards, but a plant does at least tick forward the economy a little bit. I mean, it's disappointing. You know you've got Magic on the ropes. You know that they are maybe not KO'd just yet, but they're wobbling. And then you immediately just get wrecked by Tenzi on long, who's up to 9-1 already. And even with this plant, your money's not going to be great into the next round. You're going to have a couple of pieces that are missing. So Magic are going to be ecstatic with this start, all things put into place. And that's a bit of a daylight robbery round as far as they're concerned. I do agree with you, though. Like, if K27 continue to hit this B side, or A side, pardon me, it is going to get predictable, and you're going to keep seeing these little passages of play, maybe starting to take connector control early on from Magic. It's always a very good way of splitting the map up. It's essentially like the main portion to rotate between one site and the other, and this gets a little bit claustrophobic all of a sudden for K27. And as I said before, their T rounds typically are very weak on this map, so I'm very curious to see what they're going to do to try and adapt things.
Well, the normal kind of setup for this map, or a lot of the time, will be what we just call the 4-1, where you have 4 people that are working the restrooms and A side of the map, and then you got 1 player that's lurking around outside of the B-bomb side on the T side, and that player really just has the job of pretending like someone is there so that the CTs can't just rotate too much over to the other side. Look at Masval. He's in the smoking tunnel. Tenzi, oh, he's landing more shots here. The Tech 9 buy is not working out on any level that's worth discussing, but Tenzi is up to a 12-1 scoreline behind this. Sticking around, he will go down. I almost wish that he would have stayed alive, but you know what? He wanted to fight for 1 more kill here. And this time they have pushed out. So Masval, and I think this is, even if he's not going to find and kill anyone here, the fact that Magic have started to piece some of the puzzle together and realized there's no movement on this side of the map. They're not even there to begin with. That's such valuable information on the CT side. And K27, if they keep doing this similar thing, I think they're just going to get punished more and more for it. So they could change their minds, obviously, and go back and hit the B-bomb side, which normally is a great spot. Like, even in full buy rounds, it can be very hard to hold the B-bomb side on this map. Even if you got 3 people there at the start on the CT side, it's just not easy with the flashes coming over. So that's another reason why it's surprising that K27 haven't tried to push that more. Sad elephant to set the mood, maybe, for K27. I don't know what's happening.
It's been a sad half so far, yeah.
Maybe
sad
it's another
map too.
Another furry shout out. It's all the rage these days.
It's the same kind of setup again, though, isn't it? I mean, it's still very early days in the half. And it is essentially an eco round, so I'm not going to look too much into this, but this is almost the round where I would prefer that K27 went for some kind of aggressive B hit to at least try and condition something, but for Magic to feel a little bit less comfortable. Fane with 2 lovely, precise shots with a deagle. is going to bring Moon and Tenzi to their knees. Only Tenzi's third death, as opposed to 12 kills, 200 ADR. It's going to drop a little bit after this round, but what a start he's had. Been staggeringly strong. And Spade's in a bit of an awkward spot here, where he's going to end up getting caught between two separate angles. That's why he's closed the angle off by going back onto long side, essentially allowing him to line up for his M4, and now he will spray them down. I was concerned for him for a second there, but he's all good. Magic 4-1 in the lead.
Yeah, 200 ADR. I think the highest we've seen in the tournament yet has got to be Luchov in that first game that we were watching. It was outrageous. I don't remember what he was. I think you said something like 215 or 30 or something. It was crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
Good times.
He was at one point 250 ADR after like 7 rounds, and he finished the first half on 208 ADR, which is like, I mean, you look at what Tenzi's done so far. I'm taking nothing away from him. He's been fantastic. A lot of these have been in the pistol round, and then they've been in the anti-eco round. So the fact that you finish an entire map, or an entire half, I should say, on 208 ADR, that is kind of unheard of. Like, I can't remember the last time that I saw that kind of a stat line.
Yeah, usually those high ADR numbers happen very early in a half, and then the more rounds you play, or that logically, you've got the word average in there. You end up going differently. We've got a boost. Oh, this is beautiful. It's going to be a 4-man boost looking over with the AWP. Welcome back to the CS:GO days. Where is Olofmeister? I hope he's co-streaming and watching this right now. It's not obviously the same position, but you've got to appreciate how crazy this is. It could be worth it. Very often these kind of boosts backfire in professional level games, but can he spot anyone over the wall is the question. Tenzi, you've got to stay alive here. Gone out. Oh, Cedo takes him down, and unfortunately that puts a timer on the boost here. Well, wait a minute, he's going to see it. Shot down. It's Quinky. They're confused. They have no idea what's happening. Why are we getting shot? Oh, I love this. Oh, what a throwback. I feel like it's kind of a gift. I remember this back at DreamHack. We had to actually redo the round ultimately, and it was madness. The admins were coming in. It was crazy all around. But they've made their way to the B bomb site, so the bomb's going to be planted. Let's go.
Oh, Fame. He's got 2 though. He's going to make sure that they get punished for this boost. And there's X5 as well. So I mean, you get the pick. There's a second kill that comes through from AW, and it still comes apart. They don't even win the round off that. Some people would say that's karmic justice. Slapping them across the face. Magic are going to concede for a second time.
That is so funny. It's one of the reasons why I love Overpass so much. There are so many weird tricks like that. I would argue some that have never even been attempted still, but yeah, it doesn't work out. I'll tell this little anecdote as well, just while we're here for the people that are watching. That game, when Semler and I were done casting it, and I looked at my phone, I've never been so horrified in my life, because Semler and I were laughing our way through that game because it was so outrageous what was happening. But the whole community was so angry at Fnatic for doing that boost that, you know, they were kind of taking their anger out on us as casters. They was, oh, how dare you? Why are you laughing? Why you're just giggling while they're cheating their way through the tournament, you fat idiot. Like, it was stuff like this. It was wild, man. It was a wild experience. So yeah, good times all around. Here we go. I was just
insane CS fans out there.
You know, yeah, but there's part of me that I can't help but laugh. Like, it is funny though. So yeah, people are call it passion. You know, people are passionate about the teams that they care about. So I appreciate that. We're in the 7th round, and the boost just doesn't work out. Now there's another boost going on, and this time at the playground. Quinky gets a kill, not with a boost though. Tenzi, quick one to return, and that's super important. Otherwise, I think they would have been all slaughtered at that side of the map, and I think the round would have been over pretty quickly. But it's still a 4 versus 4 now. We've got 1 minute and 10 seconds left, and this time they do have that 4-1 split that I was talking about earlier on the T side. They got Fame lurking outside of the B bomb side, so more of a normal round, I would say, for K27.
Yeah, the only wrench in the works is that they don't have con control. Typically in that 4-1, you want someone at least that's cleared out con, and that's the exact reason why. It cuts off your rotation so abruptly, it takes way longer to transition from one side of the map to the other, and it allows the CTs to stack more over on the B side. where, you know, Tenzi, if the call comes through, they're pushing Monster, he can quickly appear up on short side. So this is a real concern now for Magic. They have smoked off Heaven, trying to get into the mixer. Awkward position from Masval as he gets caught out in the open with a flashbang. But fortunately for him, AW is there to lend him a helping hand. And now Tenzi can make inroads through on the con side. Zito gets one, but that's where he will fall prey to the A1S of Svade. So Magic, I love the little adaptation they've done with the connector player. They haven't played that spot just yet, and it yields a huge amount in return.
Yeah, that you're right. It's a very awkward position for with AW being up on the sandbags. I think it's a hard position to clear out when you're coming in towards the pillar there. So good shutdown, good defense, and you know, being on the CT side here for Magic, they do survive with 3 people alive, I think, at the end of it too. So yeah, so that's really important, right? Keeping the economy going, and you can hear Harosh in the background. They're starting to really feel it. Tenzi still up to 14. Masval now slaughtering a couple of people who have no armor and just Glocks on the other side. He'll take it. AW's out for the hunt as well. Looking to make this a quick 6 rounds for Magic. They do not want to leave the tournament just yet, but for K27, I think that's... Oh, okay. He's way too relaxed for this moment. Almost... He's too flirty for this moment. What's happening?
Well, they are getting screwed pretty hard right now, K27, so understandable, I suppose. Make the most of every opportunity you've got, 6-2 down. And, I mean, one of their 2 rounds was off the back of that quad stack on short. And to be credit to K27, the second they realized that stack was in play, they initially just pushed B, knowing it was completely bereft of CTs. Other than that, it's been incredibly one-sided. Like, you're looking at some of those players that you'd like to tee off Cashlit. We've both kind of singled him out as being a player to watch out for here. 2 and 6. He's had barely any impact whatsoever.
Yep, I think that's another important thing. And this is a map where, you know, with the AWP, even on the T side, you can find so many fights. There are so many different ways, especially if you're going to be playing it slow anyway, to walk across the map. But that has not been the case. 6-2 and round number 9. If they wanted to turn this around, I mean, if they can get up to 6 rounds here, I think K27 will walk away with a good feeling. But it has to start very, very soon. And once again, they've left one side of the map open to the CTs. Now, again, Magic haven't necessarily realized that, but they are going to slowly, I think, figure it out. Rotating back towards the back of the A site. Molotovs are raining in early on. There should be a rotation, maybe even more than one. They're going to have 4 people at this bomb site very soon here, Magic. But the incendiaries are pretty, or the Molotovs are pretty damaging. So they pretty much forced out everyone on the bomb site.
Well, they haven't forced Tenzi out of bathrooms, though. Now they've dealt with him finally, but he did cordon off the rotation, and the cavalry comes in. Zito, meanwhile, gets one before he's traded out, but it ends up being a 2v1 against Fame. He's been in this position before. He gets nailed through the boxes. Down to 20, make it 0. Masval breaks the hearts of K27 again, but I do agree with you. The utility there was so on point, but what they didn't realize is that Tenzi was sat in bathrooms. And so as soon as he struck in for the first kill, it really screwed with them fully all committing to the site. They were kind of like isolated. Little pieces were moving, but not together as a unit.
7 rounds. They were so back and forth on the opening map, and it really looked like it could have gone any which way at certain points in the game. But now it just looks like Magic have found another level, and K27, again, for this being their map pick, you really have to criticize it a little bit. It's fine that they won it against General Mates, and that is pretty cool, but at the same time, surely you expect more out of it. You expect more confidence coming into a map like this one, and we're seeing none of that. It's a ridiculous shot from Moon, to be fair. Maybe we can add that into it, but individually, they're not showing up. And they are dropping one of my favorite combinations, the nice Bliat. It's just it's a cultural crossover there that you got to appreciate. Round number 10 is here. And again, the money's looking weird for K27, who just, they are falling apart right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, money again is in a pretty grim state of affairs. Masval hiding in the smoke. This is a very unorthodox position. He's maybe anticipating that someone's going to push behind him, but at the same time, he would have heard that jump. Oh, he's got such a nuts position right now that they have no idea about. They're going to replenish the smoke as well. He's basically like an early warning system. Yeah. Like a tripwire for his team. The issue is, though, that he's been so passive that he may have missed out his opportunity because K27 have all pushed up con. No one's around B at this point.
Yeah, but they just smoked off bathrooms as well on the A side, so that will probably slow down K27 a bit. And when that smoke fades down by the monster tunnel, the question is, how quickly can they rotate Wheel back to defend? I think they're going to make that call right about now. Flash is coming over. Okay, you might have been right. It might have been a little bit too passive from as well, so there's a chance at least to get the bomb planted early on here. Moon with a defensive shot takes down Cedo. 35 seconds. The bomb is going to be planted, but with the limited weapons and no utility at all on the T side, it's very hard to hold on to this one. Long flank as well coming in from Masval. I don't think he's going to be here by the time this is over. Surely they will be fighting a little bit sooner than that. Trying to get out Spade, jumping with the M4. It's actually AW to get the headshot there, and a running drive-by from Quinky. Still no sign of Masval. He's coming in from long. He's taking the longest possible detour to try and get to the bomb site. He's even going to get here with enough time to defuse. Cashnit goes down. Masval just barely gets it, and they're going to be on top of it. That is wild that he decided to take such a scenic route here. I mean, it's a beautiful map, and there's like a sign for ice cream out there somewhere, but still, you wanna actually be where the action is.
And the other kind of fascinating element of that is that they, like, K27 have no idea about Masval's position, so they could run it back. They could just do it again. They have no idea he was there. As far as they're away, he just couldn't. He went for the connector, wrap around the orthodox sort of like short B play away. So if they could go for it again, I'm really curious if they will go for it, because it nearly was an unbelievably powerful position. And now there is going to be rifles. So K27, they're moving most of their troops over onto the B side, but I don't think Masval is close enough to make use of this time around.
So they're all grouped up outside of the B bomb site, so it's going to be pure timing here. They're pushing the smokes and everything right into the monster tunnel, and that's what we mentioned earlier. Some of these pushes, that's why it was so confusing they didn't do them earlier, because this is exactly what happens a lot of the time. With the flashes going over, even though there were 3 people stacked at the B bomb site, they actually get nothing in return. If I'm K27, it almost feels a bit empty to get around like this one, because you must be thinking, wow, why didn't we try this at least once or twice in some of the early rounds, just to get like a bit of a sense of how that B defense was going to be playing out.
3 players exceptionally low, but Magic, it's unconfirmed damage. And I think Masval, you know, as good as this half has been for Magic, they'll still be very disappointed they weren't able to get at least a kill or 2 on the approach there. Because it was 2 free, like, very clean kills on Monster, and then on the back of the site, and you feel like they should have done better out of that one. Meanwhile, Moon and Tenzi are going to be tested here as multiple Ts are coming around the corner. Moon snatches the life out of one. A second kill goes down alongside him. And Magic have tons of cash, so actually this kind of hurts in some ways K27 more so than Magic. It is obviously the last round of the half, so no real big deal, all things considered, but they weren't able to deal all the fatal damage to those CTs, at least alleviating the odds at least a little bit in terms of how many AKs transition through into this next round. But I mean, we talked before as well, Anders, about the very rough T half that K27 statistically have had, 36% win rate. I just don't think that 3 rounds is enough. I don't care how good your CT side is. You've left yourself no room for error. You've got to get 4.
I think that's a fair statement. I'm gonna join you on that one. 3 way on the low side, especially just haven't really got cash lit up and running. The rest of them are all at 6 kills. So individually, they don't seem to really be there. This is always a cool move. Surprisingly on this map, if you are as fast as X5 is, you can get ahead of the CT side expectations by such a wide margin that sometimes you'll catch CTs running back this position with a knife in hand, or in this case just straight AWPing the wrong way. It's such a nice idea, but Tenzi's still tearing their heads off. Cedo and Quinky both going down. He's just had a really sick game so far on this second map. He's 19-7 for the first half. You gotta appreciate that. The bomb is gonna be planted here, and somehow we still ended up in a 3v3.
So utility still on the CT side, but well-placed Molotov is going to keep them at bay and bank for the time being. Molotov is also being lined up, though, for the truck, so X5's going to have to move position, or he will burn alive. Singed out, will hear the footsteps as the flashes come through, and now the retake is in full effect. Don't check their angles, though, and Fame will punish with the AK. 2 kills should be good enough to seal that 4th round. Good flashbang as well. Fade, probably a dead man to the hands of Fame. So K27 somewhat bounced back in the dying embers of the first half. But is 4 rounds going to be enough?
That is the big question right now. It's their map pick. It's their chance to make a bit of a comeback, but it was a very ugly beginning to this map. No question about it. And that's in spite of the fact that, you know, they had the potential to have a bit of a lead start. There was a moment there at the beginning where they could have upset the situation, but then they went on a big loss streak, and I think their T side just looked very uninspired. Like, there were a lot of things that were never tested. They left a lot of the information, I think, over to the CT side, making it easier for Magic to stack, especially the A bomb site. So a lot to criticize this time around. But I guess 4 rounds is still, you know, you're still in the competition. There's still a chance here, especially if you could pick up a pistol here going into the second half. But just a reminder again, it's elimination on the line. If K27 lose this half and lose the map, then they get knocked out of the tournament.
Yes, sir. That is the state of play. And so K27 know that they are a measly 5 rounds away from their tournament life being cut short and being the first team at the event to be eliminated. Not something that anyone wants to be wearing the title of. So Magic, how is their T side going to be looking? In terms of utility, a little bit for this fade, but that's about it really. Just a smoke and a flash. Not giving their hand away early on. 2 players down in con from K27. No Julies, interestingly. I think a lot of team would be opting for a Julies pair or 2, especially in the con. That's not the case here, though, for these boys.
Oh, Moon, this is very, very risky. Cedo, I don't think Moon saw that either, but he has missed a couple of shots, so I was going to say he's got a second lease on life, but not for long. Cedo did find him eventually. Now the bomb is making its way straight to the B bomb site. Plenty of time on the clock here. Hiding in the smoke as well as Quinky, and they don't have a kit on the CT side, so stopping the bomb plant would be huge. Quinky with the headshots, X5, as AW was trying to dive away. They do not get the bomb planted. And Tenzi's out here, and although he's been playing incredibly well on this map, this might be a bridge too far. 1 versus 4, as they are all going to peek him at the same time. They identify exactly where he is, and in a way, they're kind of giving him an opportunity because they're fighting him like this, but surely they won't keep doing it one at a time. Just, you've got the bomb on that side, it's not worth it, even if he's low on health.
Completely agree. I don't know why you're lining up in a bottleneck area like Monster, where the USP can absolutely destroy you. And keep in mind, Tenzi picked up 3 kills in the first pistol with the USP. He's a very good pistol player. So I feel like they were playing with their food just a tad. They had the bomb. I'd understand it way more if Tenzi was carrying the bomb and they were like, right, let's make sure he doesn't rotate and get some sneaky plant off. But either way, they ended up getting away with it regardless. But I definitely agree. There was a couple of very nerve-wracking moments there when he started to rattle off some shots down on Monster side.
Yeah, these are the small moments where it's like, even if you peek and fight, it's probably a 95% chance you win. But those 5%, you know, that'll ruin your whole month if you end up losing it somehow. And it's not worth it. It really isn't. But they do pick it up. Not going to be a bomb plant either, so on the T side, they're going to invest into a single scout. Actually, he's going to go back and sell it. He just made the cutoff. That's great. He hadn't used it yet, so he can just exchange it. It's brand new. Good policy.
I agree with the decision as well. Like, there are certain maps where picking a scout up makes a ton of sense, like Dust 2, especially. Mirage is another one. Overpass, less so. There's very few kind of areas that you're expecting K27 to be out in the open on where you can make the most of it. So I think the correct decision in the end, I would almost prefer, if you're going to go for a buy, like, get a Deagle. Something like that makes way more sense. But either way, their chances of winning this round are practically 0 as Fame goes out, looks to pad his stats, but more importantly, puts some money in his bank. And he's got 3.
Yeah, totally respectable. For Moon to have picked it up, though, it is actually kind of significant if he can find even, you know, 1 SMG kill here. It's unlikely because of the lack of armor. But I think that's what the round is about now. Just try and find one of those SMG kills if possible. You can see Tenzi's going to be the one to try and sort of peek the angle, maybe set up his teammate. Unfortunately, they just die way too quickly. And now they shouldn't be peeking him here, even though it's a bit boring from the CT point of view here. Just come on, let the round end. But they shouldn't be giving him any easy opportunities. And they won't. A lot of discipline here for K27. These are small little things. But if you lose your patience in a round like this one and you say, come on, he's just got an MP9 and no armor, let's hunt him down. You give her 1 or 2 kills, you make the next buy so much more powerful. And you know that he's going to want that AWP as soon as possible. And if you can get some extra, you know, extra utility around it, then all the better for it. But K27, they're off to a decent start here in the second half. Finally, it's a little bit of smooth sailing for them. Let's see how this plays out. We've got Cashlit on the AWP. Is that enough to turn this game around now that he's on the CT side?
He'd certainly hope so. For him, if nothing else, because he's been such a non-factor in that first half, just didn't really have a chance to show us what he's got. Can maybe make an argument the same on Mirage as well. So I'm hoping from K27's point of view that he can light up the scoreboard and show the world what he's capable of doing. We've seen it many times at the Tier 2 bracket. But he may get into an awkward spot here. The Molotov draws him out into the open, does nail the shot. That's going to buy him up a little bit more time. And he decides to stand his ground. He does have long presence as well. A flashbang came through from Zido. But Svade, he's on the hunt. He knows Cashlit is still here. He's been watching the entire time. But Zido bodyguards his AWP, keeps him alive with the backstab.
Oh, yeah, he was hearing the scoping that whole time. Cashlit able to pick up Moon as well. This is why we talked about him at the beginning as being such a wild AWPer. There's definitely a very risky call to be sticking around. He will finally go down, and now Tenzi's taking out Zido. So some of the work being erased here by the Magic side of things. But it is entertaining to see Cashlit kind of stick around for those kind of fights. I guess that's the overarching narrative. Look at this position from Fame. It's almost impossible to clear out coming in on the T side. Tenzi, we'll see if he even thinks about it. Not right now. The gun is actually blocking the view. So, all right, he's going to spot one. Pretty confidently get both the kills, and he is exactly right. So, going to make really quick work of this. No problems at all. Good position for Fame and K27. Importantly, I think, surviving with 3 people. They need so much momentum. So, just got to keep it going here in the early stages.
I think what that round also really showcases is that K27 naturally have a bunch of very aggressive, very confident players. Because so many other AWPers, once they land that first shot, there's a Molotov down, things are looking so bad, they're going to try and pull the plug and get out of there, and then they're going to get picked off from like a con push or something like that. And it also shows the amount of confidence that Cashlit has in Zido, that he is going to have his back, that he is going to be able to hold on. That is a whiffed smoke. Thanks for picking that up, Observer. That should be bouncing off and covering Monster. But it's landed on top of the train track.
Well, it might have been a Molotov thrown in from the T side. Can we find that out? Because there is a Molotov that the T's can throw to stop the smoke on the tracks like that. Which, by the way, I invented. I'm not even making that up. I have video evidence of this way back in CS:GO. But nobody wanted to do it when I did it. It was only years later, Vince, because they're all dickheads like that. They wait until it's too late. I'm still bitter about that. I don't know if you can tell. I try to keep it, you know, try to keep it hidden so people won't notice that I'm petty like that. But go into round number 16. I want to believe that was the Molotov that blocked it and not a failed smoke.
It would make a lot more sense because it's a very easy smoke, and you think pro players at this level should not be making those mistakes. So maybe you could very well be onto something there. The reason I'm thinking it wasn't a molly is because there isn't that much in terms of utility they picked up, but maybe...
True.
Maybe this is one of the pieces that they did decide to toss in. 40 seconds, flashbang preceding the push, and now the Tech-9's going to run and gun themselves down. Good smoke put into play, though, from the CTs. It keeps them at bay, and the superior weaponry and firepower at range reigning out supreme. It's actually a clean sweep round for K27. A massive W as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge. You never. There's a chance that you end up at least giving up, 2 or 3 deaths in a round like this one, but coming out with so many people alive, that is huge. We've tied up the game. This was an 8-4 first half in favor of Magic, and it was looking grim beyond belief from the side of from K27. Just their own map pick, putting really not that much on the board for the first half, but now it's looking a little bit more interesting. So let's see how this one plays out. They've got the money on the CT side, quite a lot of it as well. Magic do have Moon back on the AWP as well, but yeah, Tenzi is still doing the majority of the work at 23 kills. What was he? 19 and 7, I think we said it at the end of the half. So he's been getting some kills in the second half even, but surely he wants some help.
Yep, you are right. He came into the second half with 20 kills. Got a couple in the pistol round. So he has slowed down just a tad. Moon does have the AWP though, so I'm looking to see if he's also going to have some impact. Cashlit so far has certainly been able to dial up the heat just a little bit. Flashbang through onto Con, clearing out their angles. Molly also tossed in simultaneously. So Con control is theirs early on in the round. That's going to be a nice little boon in terms of a bit of control here. Oh, but Fame's position is so powerful right now. They have no idea.
Yeah. It can be very, very hard to clear out. As long as he's ducked down, TenZ hasn't spotted him yet, and he's going to have to potentially give up his head if he goes out. Yeah, you could see as soon as Fame stands up, he blows up TenZ right away. Wants to disengage. He really wants to get out of there before anyone else shows up, but oh, he's going to stick around and get the kill onto AW, who was trying to lock him in. Now, they know that he's there, so Svade's going to be able to take him down, but still, Quinky with a quick return. X5 is hiding by the barrels, but they can't really get rid of him. It's Cashley to pick up the kill on Val, and Moon is hunted down. So another great defense here as Magic are looking similarly flat early on the T side here, and suddenly K27 are back in the lead. Oh, it looked like it was going to be the end of the tournament for them here, but now we could be seeing a third map on Ancient, which I kind of hope so. It's been a wild ride so far.
7 rounds in a row, carrying over from those last 2 of the first half for K27. Said that 4 rounds was an absolute must, a requirement, and they have built off that promise. There we go, smoke has landed. I did go back and watch the stream, Manders, and it wasn't a Molotov, unfortunately. They did whiff the smoke.
They just failed it. That's so much less exciting, but I'm glad you did that. It's good work, Vince. Where we found the truth out.
Because it would have been really cool if it was the Molotov, because then it's something we could look out for in the future as well, you know? Like, are they going to do it again? Are they going to be able to, like, you know, mess with the monster control? But unfortunately, it wasn't.
You know what's really interesting as well? In CSGO, that was only possible for, I think, 3 or 4 months after I put out that video. And then Valve actually patched it so that the Molotovs interacted differently with vertical surfaces. But now in CS2, it's possible again. So, like, it's really it's a weird kind of situation. How that's been kind of over the years. Again, it's very, very low usage from all teams, really, but it's a fun idea nonetheless. Ashley is going to get flashed and killed, and Cedo, the same thing. You have that kind of a setup. You want more than that. I don't think he even got to fire the AWP at all there. X5 not really connecting with the spray, but eventually gets the kill on AW, and now he's back for more, standing in the flames. Moon will take him down. Some very sloppy defense here from K27. I appreciate that the flashbang worked well against the AWP, but you'd want Cedo to be super ready to spin around and do something in that moment, and that just wasn't the case.
Yeah, I think honestly you've nailed it there. I mean, I can't fault Cashlid because he was watching the angle and it was a beautifully placed pop flash. There's no way he could have reacted to that. But AW was the player that ran in and then just nailed Zedo, and it's like, if you're setting up for that idea of double stacking bathrooms, if Cashlid dies, you have to at least get a 1-for-1 trade. Like, it's unacceptable for you to both die without barely doing anything in the process. So, yeah, that's really a little bit of a sad state of affairs. Chicken on the screen. Or rooster.
Ooh. Okay.
What's up? What's that? January 24th. What's happening on January 24th?
I don't know. Maybe there are clues around the map. You know, little things that we haven't discovered yet. If I was a map maker, I would have to put in, you know, little Easter eggs like that around the map to figure out, you know, for people to find. I wouldn't be able to help myself. I'd probably spend way too much time on that, to be honest. But well, that means the game is tied up. It's 9-9. And thankfully, I guess for K27, they had such a big bank that it's not immediately kind of an issue, but it's also the first round that Magic win in the second half. So it took a minute to get here.
Yeah, they have stalled the rot just a little bit. Have at least made K27 respect some. Again, we got a boost coming in here. Got to deal with the train first.
Nobody's there, but yeah, you can do this. Remember, they had the quad boost. Oh, it's a real nice attempt. Surely X5 is going to have to stop jumping. If you don't know where that was connected from, you can't keep it doing so. That is possible to get a kill like that. You can, I think, spot people over towards the barrel. So really interesting idea. Didn't work out, but from an entertainment point of view, I love it.
I do appreciate as well that, wrecked by the train. That's a rough one. But I do appreciate the fact that they also took a player in the form of TenZ to watch Connector to make sure that they didn't fall into the same trap they did on the CT side, where they went for that kind of gamble boost and then they ended up getting punished for it with a side swipe. But now they've gone back up, so now X5 is boosting himself in. It's boosts on boost once again, counteracting each other. 40 seconds though on the clock. Magic have got to get a move on. They need to start pressing on the site.
Yeah, and they did get wrecked by the train. If only there was some indication that it was coming, like bells and sirens going off, but they still didn't realize. 26 seconds. They're crouching their way through. Quinky had the right... I don't know how he got the headshot. Oh, he's just testing the smoke to see if he can actually spot anyone through the bullets there, but somehow he gets the headshot. 15 seconds. They're running the clock down as low as you could possibly do, and they need a bomb plant more than anything here. Spade going to get the kill on the cash lid, but it's all down to him, and he's just on 2 health with no time for the plant. He can't do it any longer, so Cedo just has to wait, and he's going to win the round automatically. And that's pretty painful, unfortunately, for Magic. I mean, they got close, and you almost want to see them try and hit this B bomb site again a little bit more, because there was a big stack of players on B, and they almost made it.
Yeah, it's just these even trades back and forth. Like you were waiting for one of the players to properly like have impact and take down 2 players in quick succession. It never really happened for them. Just taking a little bit too much time. They are able to muster together another buy because they did save the AWP on the retreat out there, very low. Final T. But it does mean the K27, 3 rounds away from taking us to a 3rd map, which would be a welcome 3rd map, honestly. Like, finally we got some close games to get our teeth into. Sure, it's been pretty one-sided on both sides of the coin, but it's anyone's game right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's close in part because both teams are making mistakes, and like I said, if we wanted to, we could probably turn it into a bit of a sour broadcast where all we're talking about is mistakes upon mistakes. But again, it does mean that it's funny, and you don't know what the outcome is. So if you put on those glasses instead, you're gonna be entertained throughout this. There's no question about it here. 10-9. And you know what, Magic, even if they lost that last round, they did put a big dent in the economy of the K27 team. So even losing it, I think you could spin a story up on the T side of saying, yes, but if we win 2 rounds in a row here, they're out of money, and we're right back and could win the map. Like 2 rounds in a row, they're up to 11-10, and then it's going to be an eco for K27, and they bounce all the way up to 12. So that's got to be the mentality here. Unfortunately, they're going to lose the opening fight as I am yapping on. AW goes down.
Well, Masval is up close outside Monster, but we're running into familiar territory with giving yourself such little time. And there's always going to be elements that go unchecked because of this. X5 punishes with 2. They can deny this bomb plant forever now with his position, and it's another save. Like, Magic, you're taking way too long on these engagements.
Well, that was the thing they were doing as well on Mirage, if you remember. They had so many rounds where they were very low on the clock on the T side, and somehow they kept making it work there. So I guess we kind of accepted it. Said, all right, yeah, they're low on time. Oh, Fame, he is dancing on the ladder and everywhere else. I think Moon was not happy about that. Oh, and all of the talk about, damage to the economy or whatever, now they come out of this round losing nobody. So K27 themselves 2 rounds away from keeping their tournament dreams alive and pushing us onto a 3rd map. Somehow it's looking doable again.
But yeah, I mean, Moon was devastated, not just because he lost the AWP, but because he died after time. He had $1,200 coming into this round. He's down at literally a Glock. So if he saves the AWP, if he gets the kill, they have an AWP into this round. So it's like, it's multifaceted devastation. No AWP in play, down to a Glock, you're 11-9 down. You know the importance of having that extra weapon. And you know you're on the brink, on the precipice of going to Ancient to save your own tournament life now. All that pressure was on K27. But you're nearly in a spot where elimination is also looming overhead for you. Can anyone pick up that slack? Become a hero. They're going to pick up the pace. Finally getting a bit more aggressive. Masval leading the charge, but no one's on the barrels. They're going to find that out with a Molotov.
It's a good thing to test. It's also really cool for the CTs. If they've already Molotov the barrels, somebody should probably go and play that position on the CT side, because it's so unlikely that they're going to Molotov it again to check it. Fame can't make it back. He wanted to jump away from there. And we'll see if anyone does go to play the barrels. Instead, they're going to be pushing down towards the Monte tunnel. I do actually kind of like this. Double push in. Might be hard to clear out for the Magic side. Another smoke is recommitted. And you said, okay, they're going to be earlier in this round. That was true, but now they've recommitted to this slower approach. They're boosting on over. We could see another round here where the clock is going to be run down almost as far as possible. That smoke in the monster tunnel is going to go away in about 5 more seconds, but we'll see if they can make their way through after that. Quinky's up against the wall. They got X5 in a position that normally you want a Molotov out, but I don't know if they have the Molotov for it this time as well. It gets the opening. That's the job done. Double to get crack open the B bomb site, and Cashlid, unless you can find the kill on the guy with the bomb here, I don't think it's going to be a doable round.
Yeah, I think they'll probably dip their toe in the pool, see if they can deny this, and then maybe go save. I say that, but Zito's fully committing to this. They do have money in the bank. Oh, surely he's not going to hide around and then try and ninja this. No, he actually goes for the peak. They're taking the fight. That's really surprising. I mean, we saw K27 go for these kind of retakes on Mirage where we're both thinking and assuming it's going to be a straight-up save. But at least Cashlid does get the memo and decide, okay, yeah, I've had enough of this one. We'll concede the 10th round, but we'll make sure we keep the AWP.
Ooh, that's... They win that round in kind of an unexpected way. Like, I thought that was going to be more of a defense. I guess if we had to say credit to Masval for getting that first kill so quickly, it's a quad kill for him in total. He actually stays close enough to die for the bomb. Not that it really matters that much, but the fact that he gets the kill so early on the first defender there means that they can't even coordinate the defense well enough. So that's cool. That's well done. That's a second round on the T side here for Magic. If this pattern keeps up where they win one round, then go on to lose another 4, they're in a lot of trouble already. They're not going to have enough rounds left to play with. But yeah, a really, really great round out of Masval. Smoke's going down, and we will see if K27 can keep their dreams alive. Like you pointed out, they have plenty of money on the CT side, but they've got to keep Magic away just a little while longer.
Yeah, and even that last round, as you highlighted, like Masval gets a 4K, those 2 openers he picks up are worth so much. I'm not confident that they can rinse and repeat off that basis, though, because for the most part, their T rounds have been very lackluster, extremely slow, unconvincing to say the least. You can't assume that Masval is going to come out with those kind of entries and that kind of impact again. They are mixing it up a little bit, though. They're hitting more over onto the A side, going for more of a split-up approach. The bomb is dropped outside of Monster towards the barrel, so it's going to need to be Spade that picks that one up. But Masval does get the entry. And with a minute left on the clock, that is going to play hell with the rotation of K27. Do they want to stick to a 2-tour formation, or do they send a third player over there from A?
Yeah, right now, I think they're trying to figure out the same thing. This is where lacking the information on the CT side can be so painful. You probably do want to take a bit of a risk here, and I think they've made up their minds now. They're leaving Quinky down to the B bomb site and putting 3 people on this side of the map. Even if this turns out to be a mistake, which is looking likely, I don't hate the choice here for K27 because you feel like you've got to do something being a man down. Quinky, unfortunately, he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. Cito's going to get a kill on AW, but that's on the other side of the map here. Oh, and he just switched to the knife as well, so he just had no chance to fight back. But they should, I think, in theory, save this on the CT side. They get a kill early on Moon. Maybe that will change their minds. I think the logic of doing the 3-1 split there is that if you're not at the right site, you just save it.
They're hanging around, though. And whereas their money was really strong before, it's less so now. They are actually going for this. They are going for this. This is insane. Ooh. They're not going to check the angle. Wait, he just looked straight at him. Fame!
He did, bro! You're absolutely right! Oh, his brain just did not register it. Call it adrenaline or cortisol or some other chemical in his brain that just didn't really register. That's wild. He does even look straight down. Disastrous turn of events. Tenzi. Get him into, you know, a SEAL team or something. He was well camouflaged in that corner somehow. I can't believe it.
I can only assume it was one of those classic, like, muscle memory peaks, but you're not really registering it. Like, you're kind of on autopilot at that point, anticipating that no one's there. I would be super interested to see that from his perspective or, like, hear his thoughts on that. But whichever way you want to spin it, I mean, that is a critical mistake. I'm even amazed they went for the retake in the first place. All things considered, like, I thought they were saving for sure.
Okay. Well, if you guys are just joining us from the A stream, this has been a lot of what's been happening on this. It's been some ugly Counter-Strike, but it's been hella entertaining. As we go into round number 23 here, it's K27 that are looking to find a way to extend their life in this tournament. If they can't win it now, they're going to get knocked out by Magic. Both teams have made significant errors, and we just did see a big one coming in there on the retake, which I agree with you. I thought they were going to leave it alone. Now, the fact that they went for it and don't end up winning it, it puts the economy at a massive risk. If Magic win this round, then they're completely bankrupt on the CT side, and they could end up getting knocked out just because of that one economic decision. Instead of having another round to fight with, they're just going to get swiped out here. Magic, again, very slow to begin with, which is fine for now. But we've seen a couple of rounds where they simply run out of time. And this time, K27 want more information. So they're going to go looking. I do like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple moments in that round, even before Zido pulling his knife out when they were about to execute. If he gets a kill, I think the entire round changes there as well. So it's a catalogue of errors. As Magic, not for the first time, pushing with sub 35 seconds left on the clock. The shadow is betraying Spade, and Cashlid will not miss that. It's a sitter, and there's such a high volume of CTs here. Magic have played themselves so slowly in this round. Once again, even if AW's up on A site, the bomb's on the other side of the map. There's no way they're getting into this one, but they bait it out and they forced a rotation. Over the seconds.
Keeping everyone here. No, the bombers, they've already made an escape. I feel like if the other two had stuck around at the lip of that monster tunnel, they could have actually run in there. He had the entire attention of the CT defense. It's such great luck that that Moon and Masval there had kind of lost confidence in the round and they just walked away. If they push, at least they get a bomb plant, I think.
I thought that's what they were going for. Like, AW's going to go out and be the interference player. He's just going to cause chaos on A. They anticipate rotations. They try and plant the bomb with, like, 5 seconds left on the clock. But they already backed away with, like, 10 seconds. It's like, surely you want to just hang around in case AW does have the impact you're looking for first. Has Fade DC'd?
Oh, yeah, no. That's what we need. That's what we need. All right. Are we back into it? Everything is fine? 12 to 11. AW checking out this side of the map. I don't know what. I don't know. It's hard to keep track of how many things have been going wrong. We could make a compilation, I think, at the end of it, looking at the mistakes both on Mirage and on this map. But for now, we just need Magic to get one more round, and we're going to be in overtime. They do at least have the weapons for it, so that's the good news.
He can give them a bit of leeway as well. Like, this is one of the most important games of most of these players' careers, I'd have to say. Like, an S-tier LAN like this, a chance to play against some of the best teams in the world. I can understand if there are some dodgy moments, shall we say, and some poor decision-making. The pressure is certainly dialed up to 11 for both these teams. But again, Anders, I feel like a broken record, man. Like, Magic are so slow.
Oh, they are. And they've been slowed down even more. Flash is great in the middle of the reload. AW will get their opening and bot kick hill. That's what they need, but the Molotov is down. And Fame will end up getting the kill on AW. 27 seconds and a 2 versus 3. Smoke up on the high ground. Have they found enough momentum to actually get this one into overtime? That's the only way that this game could possibly get any crazier at this stage. And a boost up from Cedo. Trying to look on top of the wall. We've seen many boosts here, including a full 5-man boost that obviously turns into a quad boost up at the A-bomb site. But this is going to be tough. The boost won't solve the problems. They're checking every corner. Spade is here. Just try and buy some time. Stay alive as long as you can. Dancing around the pillar. Goes back for the headshot. And now Cashlit's going to be on his own. Magic take it. And we go the distance. Overtime is in effect. And this mad game just, it can't find an end just yet. I feel like we're old, ancient. It's been scrappy. It's been chaotic. But it's also been entertaining.
Yeah, we've kind of had a bit of everything, haven't we? We've had some incredible individual moments. We've had boosts. We've had some very odd moments, to say the least. Some insane pistol rounds, clutches, quad kills, like you name it. We've had it all. And so it's just fitting that we go into OT. I have to give a shout out to Fame, though. He had a pretty lackluster first half, a pretty lackluster first map, to be fair, but he's been fantastic on this CT side for K27. Definitely an instrumental reason as to why we're in this place in the first place, and they're going to go for this boost again. We saw it before. Moon's going to need to wait for the train to bypass. And again, it's X5 making those jumps. I feel like we've seen this round play out before. Oh, he hits him.
He did hit him, but he's looking for the kill in that moment. I think actually the last time he did hit him on the jump as well, but it was just for way less damage. I guess the train tracks there, they are made of some big steel, so kind of hard to shoot through. But we're following the classic approach here. Normal overtime format, first to 16 rounds. And if there were, you said it already, like this is a nerve-wracking game. You're facing elimination. It's on land. Lots of mistakes have already been made. There's lots of frustration in the server as well. And now you go into overtime, which in some ways could be a mental reset, but it's also where you start to make a lot more unforced errors, because suddenly it's become, you know, kind of a long game. And we'll see if that becomes a factor in this one. Setting up for the double HEs. That's another way to clear out some of these close positions. Oh, they didn't even need the double. X5 is dead. They absolutely got him playing battleships on the B bomb site. It's now a 4-on-4 as they do lose Miss Val.
I'm trying to think, did we see Magic hit A with rifles a single time in regulation? And it's got to get so predictable at this point. Yes, they got some kills, but 10 seconds to go. No room for error. You're down a player. Low HP on 10s. He's now been finished off, and Moon goes the same way. Yeah, it's great. You got the double nades down for the kill, but you've left yourself no time again. Like, at what point? I feel like we were saying this earlier with when it came to ParaVision on Inferno, the first time we casted those. Like, there is another bomb site, guys. Like, you can hit A. It is possible.
Yeah, even the people who are doing the audience participation are basically spamming in the chat, you know, it's a B-side simulator. So I appreciate that. They're absolutely right, and you're right as well. It's been very leaned towards this side of the map. And I guess they do get close a lot, so maybe that's the feeling is, come on, we're almost there, but the predictability of it at this stage is an issue that we're gonna have to bring up. First round of overtime goes to K27, and this time they've massively stacked the B bomb side at the start. They're really sure something's going to be happening, but this looks like another slow default for Magic. We say that because the bomb is dropped and they're spread out in this 2-3 pattern. So yeah, we'll have to wait a little while longer. Oh,
also,
weird smoke.
Like, where's the timeouts? You've run into so many issues on your T side. Like, why are you not calling a timeout to figure out, get the coach involved? Like, just get on the same page. Throw out some fakes, just something different.
In fairness to them, they could be taking a page out of you know, some of the tier 1 teams that are at the tournament. I believe Sonic, they lost like 13-1 yesterday with no timeouts. So maybe they're thinking, you know what? If Sonic isn't going to take a timeout, why should we? Just throwing some shade. Oh, that was such a funny game. I was laughing my way through that one. Anyway, it is going to be a 13-12 here. And again, we're down to the... Oh, that's a smoke at 33 seconds. You can't really wait. There's going to be 13 seconds left when it disappears, so you have to go through. You can't wait. Or shoot your way through. That is definitely a way to do it. Quinky, gotta be careful. Flash going on over, but he's laying waste to them here. Headshot on Masval. You gotta know that more people are coming through. Picks up the AK. What a risk! But he gets the reward. A jackpot on the other side. A double headshot cutting him out. And like I said, there's no time to wait. Again, Magic just unable to read the clock. You would think it is possible to do that. It's conveniently located right at the center of the screen, but they keep on falling short. Moon hitting some absolutely banging kills towards the end of the round, but it doesn't matter. They've lost the round.
Just get me out, please. I don't want to watch it anymore. Stop hitting B with 20 seconds left, Spade. Stop it.
You know, you can't get off this ride, Vince. We knew what we signed up for, you know, doing the remote kind of the broadcast here on the B stream. We knew that it was going to get real interesting, but I wasn't anticipating anything like this. But if you leave, Vince, then I have to do this on my own, and that's too much for one person, you know. That's got to be a violation of some kind of a human right.
I tell you, Anders, I genuinely have not opened my eyes yet in this round. Are they on B again?
You know what? It's looking likely, Vince. I won't say commit finally to it, but it does seem like they are gravitating towards that side again. Fame with the refrag coming in. There is a counter incendiary coming out, but actually they've managed to crack open the bomb side a little bit this time because for some reason K27 haven't noticed the pattern either, so they weren't fully ready. 3 people on the site, none of them really fighting together, which I think happens a lot of this B defense on the CT side. It's very frustrating to watch because 3 people are there, and there is no chance for easy refrags. It's not like some sort of a sick crossfire setup. They just die one by one by one. K27 will have to do whatever they can to go for this retake, it being the last round of the first half of overtime. So they're going to save anything here. Just straight forward into it. Grenade comes out. Let's see if Cito can find anything at all. It's not going to be possible. They only lose 2 players trying to get the site. And finally, they're rewarded. Vince, does that justify them going for B? Like, they proved it works, you know?
Nah, not really. It's like what you said when we watched ParaVision on Inferno, and you were like, if you played a game of, you know, why am I blanking on this?
Rock, paper,
scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, yeah. And then someone does the same thing over and over again. Like, eventually you'd think, maybe I'll stop doing that and do something. But it might just be some 9 billion, like, megamind IQ reverse psychology. It's like, they'll think we're going A this time, boys, so we hit B. And I just see all these, like, notepads around on the tables, and I just imagine it's just a big B, like, on the entire A4 sheet, you know?
Oh, like in The Shining. It's like, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, or whatever it is, but it's just B over and over. Go B, go B, go B, go B. They've lost their minds. Not to an evil hotel, but to the map of Overpass. I don't know how we managed to but great performance from Jack Nicholson, and a great book if you haven't read it. It's worth reading. I don't know. I'm losing my mind a little bit, I'll be honest.
Understandable. Well,
didn't have a lot of mind to begin with, so...
That's I mean, we've seen some pretty wacky Counter-Strike. I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, meme on either of these teams. It's such an important game, as we discussed before. There's definitely going to be nerves. There's going to definitely be a lot of anxiety coming into this one. But again, like, timeouts, not using a single one is wild to me. Flashbang is good, very well placed into the eyes of Fame. He had a great second half. His first half, though, on T side was a little bit lackluster. So we'll see if he can pick up the pace. 30 seconds left. K27 saying, by the way, there is an A site, boys. We're about to push on it. Look at this. But Cash Lid gets caught by Spade, and the round comes undone. So do you know what? Maybe Magic are right. Maybe don't hit A.
Yeah, just leave it alone. It's not going to be worth it. But that's also how we know that Magic, they do in fact know that the A-bomb site exists, because they are playing the other side of the half, and obviously they literally spawn in the A-bomb site. So there's no, like, it's not like they, you know, in terms of, like, you know, mapping things out, sending out their adventurers to draw what the world looks like. They definitely understand that the A-bomb site is there. Maybe it's some kind of advanced amnesia when they switch halves on the T side. They just all lose their memory, and they're like, but we don't know where it is anymore. So maybe if we get to the double OT, we can see them explore that themselves on the T side. But for now, it's a rough position once again, really for K27. Remember, I guess the stakes are a bit higher for them, having lost the opening map. It feels like an age ago now, but on Mirage, as you can tell, they lost 13-9, a game that was very, very scrappy, like unbelievably scrappy at the start of it. But Magic pulled away with that one. So for K27, this is it. If they want to stay here in PGL Astana, and, you know, even though we're laughing at some of the mistakes and some of the madness in this one, you got to remember as well, there's so much on the line. Like, elimination here, you just don't, like you said, you don't want to be the first team to get knocked out of the tournament. And that could well happen, or that will happen for one of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of money, but I think even more than that for both of these squads, it's the VRS. You know, it's the potential to build towards the next major cycle. It is a hugely important game for both teams. And K27, like, to be honest, probably should have won Mirage. They had plenty of opportunities. But here we are, 14 apiece. Magic now, after picking up the last round on the CT side, have applied the pressure directly to K27. How are they going to retaliate? Clearing out connector early on, but no one's home for the CTs regardless. They're playing a little bit more deep and passive on A.
Looks like there's going to be a boost looking over. I don't think they'll find anyone with that boost immediately. In fact, it's going to get cancelled by a Molotov thrown out there. Ooh, Quinky, so ready. I do like the timing. You throw out the incendiary and then you try and peek as they were potentially running away from the incendiary. So the coordination between those two events on the CT side actually make a lot of sense. And they're recommitted to the boost here, but they've lost AW on the CT side, and it looks like this B defense could be tested. There's going to be a counter boost as well. Oh my god, with the flashbang on top. It's Fade rocking them. Masval gets another kill, and he also set up the flashbang there. That is such a hard counter to whatever they were trying to do there on the T side. But the round is still alive somehow, Vince. Cedo has just walked up and found a free kill. And now if Kashta can get out with the bomb, he's going to be okay. Just bouncing into the wall. And Tenzi spotted it. My god, he almost got stuck on the corner there.
Tenzi, 32 kills. If there's a player for Magic you want in this position, it's him. He's had an amazing map. Kind of hard to justify how Magic can run a 1v2, though, after that beautiful boost. So clinical. As you say, like a direct counter. Tenzi comes up. If just timing just feels like it's going to go against him here. At one moment, he's going to get peeked in from the side, and it's going to be a truck player, Zedo, that lays him out. So K27, another opportunity to take us to a third map, and a timeout has been called from the CTs, and that has to hurt as well, because that boost into the monster kill, that felt like the round just ended right there abruptly, and yet they still somehow concede.
It's like the counter boost that was coming out is like that one moment in like all the poker, you know, movies, or whenever there's a poker game in any movie where some guy's like, oh, I've got 4 aces, but then the other guy's got like the straight flush. But then the counter to that straight flush, which is the counter boost to this really tortured analogy, was the T side just wiping all the cards off the table and just like flipping the table over. K27, they should have lost right here. Like this should have been a round losing event, especially with Masval getting this one. So 2-on-4, like I said, that's supposed to be the straight flush, but then, you know, you can't win at poker if there are no cards left on the table, I guess. No one's ever thought about that.
That's true. Might be waiting for that.
They're throwing German straight at us. That's wild.
Last chance. Well, I say last chance, actually. Obviously, it can go to another OT. Last chance to get it tied up right here, right now for K27. Double nade stack, but no one's there. AW takes a bit of damage.
Yeah, that's the Astralis double nade stack. Shout out back when Sonic was coaching that team. They came up with this idea. Really cool still to do it. Sometimes you'll see triples there. But yeah, you're right. Double OT could be a feature of this one. I wonder how long we can stay sane if it actually gets there. If K27 win this one, though, he's going to go a third map, which I think it could be very exciting. It's going to be Ancient as well. I'd love to see that.
Well, they still need to get there first. The Magic will be looking to hold on for dear life. Should have won the last round. Will be feeling like probably should have won this OT. But best case scenario is they run it back for a second. Molotov is good. I say that actually it hasn't fully extended behind the box. It kind of just gets stuck in there like in a black hole. It landed right in the middle. That's horrendous. It's really rough because it means the Moon doesn't have to move position, and he has punished 2 of them. I can't imagine I've seen that too many times.
I have never seen that. The spawn box ate the Molotov. I don't know what's even happening. Oh, I can't explain that. Normally, the way that the Molotovs interact like that is I would have assumed they would have spilled over and still kind of burned at least around the box. But you are right. It fell into the gravitational well there and just you couldn't escape it. Well, that's a first for me, I've got to be honest. Great camera work. Well done, production. We're at a double OT situation. The madness continues. Welcome to PGL Astana, day 3 here on the B stream. It's been fantastic so far, and you guys have been great in the chat. We love it. Magic. They're now on the CT side. Once again, of course, we're curious when they switch to the CT side if we could see anything other than the B-bomb sides, if that's even allowed at this stage, or if they're just so stubborn that they want to keep going. But for now, it's K27 trying to attack and actually flashing their way through. They force out some counter utility from the CT side. That's pretty good. That's a nice way to start off. They're still a minute and 15 seconds. So if you can force the CTs to throw in some early incendiaries, that's pretty good.
They have backed off as well with time, so having connector control does afford them the luxury of still hitting A, and they have been A-centered, I would say, in the OT at least, so that's going to be the back of Magic's mind. I do feel really sad, like, and sorry, honestly, for K27. Like, all memes and jokes aside, that's a horrendous moment for a Molotov to just go horribly wrong. It would have forced Moon out into the open, and everything could have changed in like, the space of a second. But here we are. They're going to put that into the back of their minds. A bit of a boost up from Masfal over the smoke on sandbags. Oh, it's clear that Cashlid never stood a chance. However, there is the noose being tightened from Monster. They're going to hold their ground for the time being as X5 is on a fact-finding mission, and he will find AW. Lays him out. 20 seconds left to get the bomb planted.
It's weirdly still a winnable round, but they have to get past the AWP Moon, and that was the big challenge there. X5, they had no flashbangs to get across, so he just had to try and make a run for it, and that doesn't work out here. Fame with 10 seconds, can't make it past his fade, and even if he had, you have to assume that the rest would have jumped in right away. So the first round of OT, or second OT, goes to Magic. Just a quick check-in at the scoreboard. Tenzi's got 36 kills, and on the other side, it's 30 on Fame. But yeah, between those two, they're kind of rocking the top of the charts right now. Very, very interesting work. And yeah, I thought for a minute, even in the 2v4, I thought it was winnable until they ran into the AWP there.
Yeah, it got awkward as well. The two short players and the CT started shooting each other as they were desperately trying to scramble back into safety. It's kind of like a rats jumping off the ship moment. Masfal in the meanwhile, though, we saw him hide outside of the monster smoke one time. What feels like forever ago. This time, though, he's only able to get the one kill, and AW gets nothing. He had to follow up with a bit of damage of his own. Spade is trying to keep the dream alive on the site, but he's also doused down from Fame. And in a 3-on-2, and Molotov's being put on graffiti, Tenzi decides to bypass it and push straight in. He takes a ton of damage for it, though.
Is he going to be well? Oh, he's so in the open. I don't like that position. I feel like with the damage he'd already taken, he was going to be very exposed. It's all up to Moon. A 1 versus 3, and they're taking their time right now. He's trying to plant the bomb on the other side here. Incendiary going out. It's not going to kill anyone. Probably a little bit of damage. But once that bomb is down, the chances that he would have win it are probably already very low, like a 5% chance that he win that 1v3. With the bomb going down, I feel like it drops even lower than that. So looks like Moon is going to try to... I think he might have been hoping that someone's going to chase him down. I don't think there's any chance that he can cheat them and sort of recommit to this one, even though he does have the kit. They're too close by for any kind of real shenanigans here. Maybe get like a parting kill. Yeah, I like the idea. It's a really cool potential idea, but again, they're right on top of it here. And I think at the end, he just didn't have enough time regardless. So still, he stuck around, and I appreciate that. I want more people to do that, so I'm not going to criticize it.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to save. They're going to have more than enough money to get him an AWP into the next round anyway, so I love the effort. I also love how he jumped up on the box while defusing, hoping you'd be safe from the smoke. Is a little cool idea to go for a defuse like that. If someone sprays at you from where they assume that you're defusing from, it can kind of mess with them a little bit. But yeah, it was a desperation play realistically at the end, wasn't it? It was never really going to work out for them. I think where that round kind of came undone was that double peak from Monster. It was AW and Masfal, and they got a 2-for-1 trade against them that had to go better for Magic. They're going to run it back. They pick up the pace, if anything.
Okay, well, let's see how this plays out. Masfal in the smoke. Oh, great double. They didn't realize he was there, and he actually had his back turned at the beginning of that defense. AW, furious spray coming through. It's just chaos. I don't think we could even see half those kills because they were just all fighting in the smoke or through the smoke or around the smoke. It will be Magic to pick up a bit of a lead here, and 38 kills on Tenzi now as Magic swap back to the T side, and we're going to try. But now everyone is at the edge of their seats here. This is where, you know, we're excited as we could be to find out. Can we even see the A-bomb side in this half? Are we going to get a chance to actually get any action, or is it going to be all B again?
Not sure what he said, but it's with passion. So I hope he said, "Let's go B, boys. Let's go B."
They are clearing up for another B hit. Let's go. Maybe they will at least fade the A-bomb side. You know, that could be a start. Just try to, you know, they're setting up some utility towards the restrooms. I won't call that an A fake necessarily, but I'll say at least they are pretending like they know that the A-bomb site is there. and that's better than previously.
I am actually just fascinated at this point if Magic at any point will actually hit A. Wait, did he just nade his teammates? Brilliant.
He did do that.
Big fan.
Oh, hit the headshot. That would be even funnier if he goes from nading his teammates to just clearing out that jump. Not going to be happening. 55 seconds, and the forward position for Cedo all the way over at the playground means K27, no. They're going to have 4 people defending this. It's such a strong position because you can even catch them coming up out of the connector. So, yeah, there's not a lot they could do. Moon he's going to go back and pretend to go A. I don't think it's going to sell anything. I don't believe in this at all.
It's like that Tom Hardy meme from Mad Max who goes, "That's a bait." That's how they're feeling about this. They're not buying this for a second. Zedo takes him out, keeps him interested, and now they start to hit B with 20 seconds. We've been here before, but what will the outcome be? As Masval already low finished off.
They did pull back a couple of people, but is it going to be quite enough to promise the time that's left? Fame down below and up on the high ground, the AWP Cashman. He can't get the job done. Oh, there's no time for the plant. They actually had the kills to make it open, but it won't make a difference. Magic, they try and return to the B-bomb site. Is that a jumping shot? He actually was airborne getting that on X5. What the fuck is going on in this game?
I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. Oh, why? So many questions, so few answers. Nothing makes sense.
Oh, I can't believe what we're seeing. Oh, this is some of the maddest Counter-Strike I've been able to cast in a really long time. Oh my god, how has he got away with that? No, here we go. All right, it's time to lock in. I say that to myself more than anything else. Let's try and see if we can stay sane. It's 17-17, and this could go the distance once again. Masval, he goes down early. At least they're spread out. Magic have actually decided we know we're not going to hit straight for the B-bomb side this time. We'll spread out a bit more. So this is finally a change for the first time on Overpass.
I just imagine the other teams watching this match and just like so confused. Like, how do we prep for playing either K27 or Magic and Overpass? What is going on? Tenzin, meanwhile, though, did have a chance. But it seems like he's missed his window of opportunity because Zedo's already backed off, and although he gets the 1 kill, there is a second player there up close, and he is low. There's no way he survives this. What? Surely not. Okay, there we go. A bit of sanity resumes.
I think if you are one of the opposing teams and you're trying to sort of learn from this game and like prepare yourself, I think the best possible prep work might just be to find a random assortment of mushrooms from the forest and just try. You go forward and cross your fingers. Best of luck, and you might get some insight into what's happening in this particular game. Don't recommend you guys do that at home, but I'm just saying that that's the level that we're on to try and even find any kind of logical reason or any reason at all, really, for what's happening here. Svade's going to be out of time. Not much they could have done here. So K27, we're first to 19, if you're keeping an eye on that at home. So they've almost done it. They're almost at that 3rd map. Or it's going to be triple OT.
Yep, it's a hard one to call, isn't it? I mean, we've had so many moments where both of us probably assumed the game was about to come to its conclusion, and then there was a few more twists and turns and all kinds of shenanigans that came into play. I would say, though, that K27 having that point here on their CT side, surely this is where they can put this one to bed, and we can get through to the 3rd map. Magic's T sides have looked so incredibly lackluster, like really just coin flipping on whether Masval can get himself a couple of entry frags. If he can over on Monster, they win the round. If not, they lose. And it just seems like such a weird, very one-dimensional tactic to have on a map that has so many possibilities, so many fake protocols that we just haven't seen from Magic whatsoever. Like even just you can throw smokes from short to fake on A from dumpster and things like that. You can draw away rotations. We've just not seen any of these things happen at any point.
I think that's I'm glad that you bring all of this up, right? And even the fact the connector where Tenzi's playing right now, if you have control of that on the T side, what the
Bruh.
Vince.
Bruh. We saw them nade each other before, now they're flashing each other. I mean,
why are they doing it when I'm trying to lay out cool strategies as well? Like, why are they interrupting me like that? Like, man, if they knew what they were doing, they could then just see the flashbang just go, not even close to over the wall, just straight into the wall. Okay. Forget what I was saying. I don't even want to remember anymore. Tenzi will get the kill on Cedo. Like you said, he's got 40 kills. All right, let's go. Triple OTs on the line. If they get 4 more kills in this one, it's Cashly to try and stop them and get us to a third map. Masval, quick return. Very nice trades. Tenzi's back at it again, and the bomb is making its way there. And they've got, compared to normal, an infinite amount of time here for Magic. We're talking 17 seconds. That's way more than they normally do here. Fame on the high ground. There's no reason anyone from Magic should be facing. This is where you want to fall back and just, you know, play it safe. Make sure you can trade the kills. Don't take the individual battle. It's not going to be worth it. Fame is very hungry to close this one out, but now he's also low on health. And Tenzi lands another cracking headshot. He's taken down 3 in this round. He's at 42 kills with 21 deaths. That's a 2.0 K ratio. That's crazy. And Fame goes down last. We go into triple overtime. Let's go.
It's not a place that Magic are unfamiliar with. Their first map of the tournament went to, I think, quadruple overtime against the Mongols. So they've been here before. They did lose that time. Should be mentioned that was over on Mirage. But they've had practice. And practice makes perfect. You wouldn't think it to watch this Overpass performance so far, but hopefully from their perspective it will yield better results here.
Did you just say the word perfect?
Yes, I apologize to everyone watching.
That's really pushing the limit, Vince. I've got to be honest, but I appreciate your optimism nonetheless. Maybe eventually, when we get to the 20th overtime, it will be. You know, we'll grind out all the mistakes. We'll throw flashes over the walls, all of that stuff. Fame goes down early. That is a bit of a loss here. Now we're the first of 22 rounds, and losing Fame this early on, that's a bit of a shame. I'd still love to see Cashly do more. Given the fact that we're now in the 3rd overtime, the fact that he's got 17 kills is a bit depressing. Like, bottom of the scoreboard for that team. This is supposed to be an AWP's paradise. Okay. We do have Cashly picking up that shot against AW. So far, so good. 3 versus 4. Maybe we just had to call him out a bit more and he can find a way to get the job done. Counter flashes coming out. Nice smoke to slow them down. They are running back down through connector, but they're not quite controlling it. X5 had pushed on the other side of the smoke, and he's there to take down Tenzi. 40 seconds. And time is running a bit lower than you'd like here for Magic. They do want to return to the B bomb site. And we'll see if they could do it this time. They were honestly trying to go to the A bomb site this time, but they got shut down a little bit. Now they're back at their favorite position. Spade's going to be picking up Quinky. 23 seconds and a 3 versus 3 with X5 having already got 1 kill here. Oh, the smoke is up. He can't really see them. I can't believe he hasn't hit it. USB has come up, but now the bomb's planted.
Bomb planted in. Masval's going to try and hide back, shimmy through the smoke. Moon has his cross. Cashly up in heaven, but he's going to have to try and join alongside X5 and start to get more aggressive now to retake this site. The lack of utility is a real problem, though. It's going to be hard for them to break back onto this and deal with either of the players. Moon doesn't need to budge an inch. Lands the shot he's been waiting for, and this round should be a gimme now. Easy kill from Masval, and Magic pick up some success to kick off another OT.
I can't believe that this is a winnable round for Magic. You think about how they get stopped as they're trying to run back down through connector from X5, and already there, you're in so much trouble. You've actually shown the CT side that you're rotating back to the B bomb side. They know that. You're trying to plant the bomb on a guy that has no health. As Faye there, he was 1 USP bullet from death, but you can't find him before the bomb is down. So once the bomb is planted, it turns back in your favor, and you come up with a victory. Such a hard round to win, and again, just it follows the same mad trend that we've been seeing so far. Okay, they go back to this. They've tried this 3 times, and I think both times they've actually connected with a shot. This time they get knocked down.
They take a sledgehammer and just knock the foundation off the tower. We've seen a couple of boosts like that get wrecked. We saw a flank, I think it was was it Anubis, like yesterday or the day before, also kind of go the same way. But yeah, that's a really cool little change of pace. I haven't seen too many of those spams through the smoke, and yeah, Faceplant pretty much sums it up.
That's like it's like a interpretive dance version of this match we just saw. Like that's what it is. If you had to try and just make that into human form. AW goes down. I don't even know what he's doing, jumping that far around the corner with no rifle in hand. Cedo backing off into another shot. So it's a 3 versus 3, and this round is back on once again. We got still 40 seconds. They're throwing grenades to the A bomb site, but I know it's hard to believe in that they are going to go back to B. That's the plan.
Excuse me, I nearly just choked thinking about them going to A. But they are going to be hitting B. This makes a lot more sense to me, though, Anders, because they did sell the A fake. Finally, they've realized misdirection does work.
And it's actually worked really well. Moon, actually, you saw him. You can fire the gun right then and there. You don't actually have to wait for him to peek on up there, but it's going to be Magic winning the round. There, even in just this one round, there were so many weird mistakes that were happening. And I think the coach, he had his hand on his forehead there. He looks very stressed. I can't blame him. Magic have found a 2-round lead. And they just need 2 more rounds, and they get to dodge the third map and put an end to the craziness and knock out K27.
I have to apologize to everyone how loud that cough probably was. I genuinely took a drink and nearly choked on it at the same time as I saw them rotating back down on connector again. So yeah, perfect timing on that one. But I don't think we've seen Magic in this position, right? Like a 2-round lead on their T side. I think they've always been trailing at this point, so maybe this is the beginning of the end for K27. And remember, they lost the first map. They lose this OT, they're eliminated, they're done. They go out 0-3 at Astana.
That is, yeah, for all the laughing and all the craziness here, for K27, it's as real as you can get right now. You don't want to be losing early on. They do blow open the door, and that's an immediate hint to the T side that, you know what, there could be a boost happening. So they try and spam it down early to avoid that, and the CTs don't want to stick around. There have been a lot of counter boost and a lot of, you know, double nades and stuff like that for the Magic side. They've come well prepared with interesting tricks, I would say. So I wouldn't begrudge K27 for dismounting that boost and saying we're not interested. They only have 2 people at the B bomb side. They're pretty much going all in right now, K27, on the idea that they can't possibly hit B again. It's impossible. They've done it 50 times in a row, but you know what? 51 is coming up. They're ready to go one more time towards the B bomb site. Shocking as it is for K27, who must be just confused and lost at why they are just hitting this bomb site over and over again. Grenades, 2 of them landing on Quinky. He's dead, and the bomb is going to be planted.
It's like that really famous like martial arts quote where it's like, I fear the man that's practiced the same kick 5,000 times. And this is just Magic. They've practiced this B 5,000 times. It's a good kill from X5 though, keeping themselves in with a chance. But I honestly think if they get clean swept here on this first half, it is pretty much a done deal. The CT side for Magic has looked far, far better than their T half has. They could still retake. They've got the weapons they need. The time, though, is running dry. X5, big kill. Cashlid closing the gap with his MP9, but he's lost all of his teammates, and he's lost his head. Although they're both low HP, the clean sweep has come into effect, and Magic now have every chance of saving themselves and executing K27 in the process.
Well, here we go. 3 rounds in the 3rd overtime that go to Magic. They're set up so nicely. This is the best position they've been in to win all map long. So if they can't close it out now, if somehow K27 can put this into double OT, or I guess quad OT now, then I feel like Magic are going to fall apart. This is position. They've got the momentum. They finally cracked open the B bomb side. It just took running it, you know, I said 50, probably not quite 2, but something like 20 rounds thrown in towards the B bomb side. And now it's kind of working for them. And they throw in some fakes as well, so they have diversified a little bit from the original, but it's been one hell of a game. You've got to say that. Elimination on the line, just to remind everyone, if anyone's just joining us here, it is the third series of the day. We still do have the Huns and Fisher College, which I'm not going to lie, I hate to say this, Vince, but it could be more of the same, or this kind of Counter-Strike happening in that game, which now that we're locked in for it, I'm kind of actually looking forward to it. I think it's going to be tons of fun. But here we go. It's first to 22, and elimination on the line here on the B stream. Molotov goes in early. Let's see if K27 can find 3 in a row of their own.
I see, Anders, you succumb to the Stockholm Syndrome version of CS. I see. It makes sense. I'm alongside with you in the roller coaster. There's been twists, there's been turns, there's been all kinds of shenanigans. The flashbang, though, he runs into his own teammate's flash. I think there was also a counter flash tossed in from Magic as well, to be fair. But possibly, whichever way, Fame has been stalled, and he's also lost a bit of health for it, too.
Well, it's not the first time that we're using the utility not exactly perfect from all sides. So let's see. Can they actually make it through? Smoke is recommitted. There's another smoke, but this one is pretty deep. I don't know if the He's even care about that. They look to be reconnecting over towards this other side. Might be a boost in it for them. AW throwing out a counter incendiary. We're down to 45 seconds now. And I think they're going to go for it. This time it's going to be the L-bend that's going to be attacked. So only one player coming through the tunnel. It actually could be very efficient here. AW, great spray. Takes down 2. Masval will make sure no one's coming through the tunnel either. And with 30 seconds left, it's looking very unlikely they could do this here. Magic, they just need 2 more kills and they can put this behind them. They dodge a third map and they knock out K27. And there's only Cashly and X5 left here. The bomb is going to be planted, if nothing else. But they're locked into the bomb site. There's no escaping. They can't find a position in the afterplant. The smoke, that might help them out. That's so cool. He managed to throw that down, and maybe that buys an opening here.
There is still utility, though, on the CT side. Masval has a ton of it. He takes the first point of call. He's going to get traded out, though. There's Cashlid. Survives. Could very well thrive as well in this chaos. He's going to try and take the initiative and play aggressively. The full defuse comes in, but Cashlid nails him and keeps K27 alive. Keeps their tournament hanging by a thread.
Oh, he jumped back like he was going to go back around the corner. And if the CT player heard that, it makes perfect sense that he goes straight for the defuse. But then he walks back with his scope up near the box. That's insanely dangerous. If he isn't going for the full defuse and he peeks it instead, there's such a good chance that the M4 is going to come out on top, especially because he could have peeked on either side of the box there. But they win the 2-on-3. Crazy stuff. 19 to 21. Because the chat's delayed, I'm seeing people say, oh, finally it's over in the chat. But you know what? It's not over. You guys are wrong in the past. Unfortunately, they still keep it going here. And fortunately for K27, obviously, because they just want to keep their tournament lives going. 46 kills on Tenzi, 35 on Fame. Cashlit started to wake up a little bit more. It is going to be a 19 to 21 scoreline. They still have their backs to the wall here, K27. I think the boost has been spotted. They know that this boost is happening. Fame is also trying to push them onto the tunnel, but now that it's gone, yeah, the fact that they stuck around on that boost for so long, I think is not exactly advisable.
That was like 4 flashes just got tossed in from the CTs onto Monster as well. Like, they're really making sure that this B site does not get pushed on anytime soon. Moon, in the meanwhile, though, has to relocate. We must realize at this stage, no one's hit B. It's going to be A. They can hear all the footsteps charging towards the site, and they've given it up. So bare minimum, it's going to be a post plant coming in. Bit of damage has been done. Important kill from Tenzi. 48 kills and showing no signs of slowing down. Can he hit the 50 before this game comes to its conclusion? He won't care about that. But in the meanwhile, Zito out in the open gets nailed by Tenzi.
That's a mad shot. He does take him down. Cashlit and Quinky again left here, but the bomb is already ticking so far. We need to move right now. A missed opportunity leaves it all onto Quinky. He was amazing on the opening map. He's had a great game, but it's too much to handle. Moon takes him down. They've got the kit. Oh, I was going to say, why are they not defusing with the kit? If they end up screwing it up, they won't. Oh my God, it took absolutely everything for both these teams. So it'll be Magic making their way through to a later stage of the tournament, and K27, they get knocked out in 2 maps. That felt like maybe 4 at the end of it here, but what a day on the B stream, and it's not even over yet.
Could you imagine, Anders, if they'd lost that round because they came off the bomb to allow the diffuser to take it instead?
It would have been
Could you